Welcome to Glassrook University, new home to genius and adversity. In our hallways are characters with backstories tragic who fight against fate, with metal or magic. These familiar stories, with echoes still sounding, leave blood on the floor and hearts yet pounding. A game of steam, madness, or hope not yet sunk. I am pleased to present Frankenpunk.
Welcome to Frankenpunk. I'm so excited for today. Welcome to Frankenpunk. I'm gonna say a few things first. First of all, if you have any questions on arcana in the world, it's basically a catch-all for like scientific magic. It's a natural occurring sort of chemical, think mercury or uranium in like terms of like danger, but also there's a certain amount that you can stand, and it's a lot of there's like some mental stuff that can happen. Was that the only thing that I needed to say? Well, there'll be more announcements at the end of the stream, but yes. So I'll just start. I'm just so excited. Okay. So students drift in from outside as the afternoon heat settles over the green houses, and some students begin to enter the classroom with the cool air hitting their face as soon as they step through the threshold. There's like a smell of like sickly sweet plants that like goes into your lungs, and then like you get used to it, and it leaves like a bitter aftertaste in your throat and mouths. And there's like a low murmur of students already in the room, asking and like talking the usual questions of like, have you done the homework yet? And then there's like a reply of like, oh my god, I didn't, she's going to kill me. And then and like the occasional of like, I mean, I didn't study, but I mean, I think it'll be fine. And as there's like various groups of people taking their places, there's already a group of students of 3 all huddled and like have already taken their place at the different tables, but there's a group of 3 that's circled around a large bird in like the middle of the table that's wearing a really small hat. And they're just like staring at it. I'm really pleased. And I'm gonna go around and ask Phelan, Vidya, and Bonnie to describe themselves, and I'll start with Phelan.
Yes. So Phelan is a 5'7" half elf. She is wearing like kind of like a shirt, a vest, black trousers, riding boots almost. Very quite masculine, but she's trying to make it fit a bit more femininely than usual. Her hair is like in an up, like kind of like a half up, half down situation, and she has I can't have them like underneath my headphones because of that, but like these golden ear cuff thingies that you'll see if you go and check my Instagrams and stuff. But she is, if the video allows, she's trying to like feed the bird like some like nuts or like some grapes, and like trying to make it like do tricks like go around and then feed it. She's having way too much fun doing that.
Yeah.
And she absolutely did her homework. Something I wouldn't do. This is very out of character. She did her homework.
Already like in a pile, like all the different
stacked
plants are like
oh my gosh.
identified.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vidya, what does Vidya look like and what's she doing?
Vidya is a little tiefling who is about 5'2", but she'll say she's 5'3". It's all in the horns. Wears just a white simple shirt, black corset, like a black poofy skirt that comes out really wide, and these little boots. And she's just a bright yellow tiefling with the indents of wings that are like flushed against her back. and she is currently watching her bird, Gratia, just kind of stare at Phelan trying to make do the tricks. She takes the food and then looks like she's gonna do a spin, and then she just doesn't do the spin. But it's kind of funny to watch. She is enjoying the show.
Exactly.
Sorry, I lost sound on video. Sorry. There we go, you're back.
Where did I leave off on?
Just it's a fun show. She's enjoying the show.
Oh, video's blind.
Blind.
Yeah. I don't know what else I said. It's all good.
All right. And then Bonnie. What does Bonnie look like and what she's doing?
Bonnie is she doesn't have it at the moment. I mean, I don't have it at the moment, but she has it. She has a top hat. I would wear it, but I have headphones and I don't want to play that kind of balancing game. She is just wearing like her usual kind of school attire that she wears, like her high-waisted trousers, a blouse with a vest. She does have slightly shorter hair, ever so slightly, and a new fringe due to some incidents, including a vampire and a certain tiefling. She's also done her best to like cover up with makeup the small cut on her lip. She is not impressed with this bird. She is annoyed by its very existence and wants it off the table.
Hat.
She hates the tiny hat. She hates
So
it.
cute. There's a little feather.
It looks like Bonnie's hat. It looks like a replica of Bonnie's hat.
Phelan
Hat.
fucking loves it. She loves
fucking
it.
makes a hat.
It's like
Put it on the bird.
it's like your
It's
twins.
I don't like it.
Oh come on,
actually,
Bonnie.
Bonnie's raised her small little pepper box gun, and she's like,
Don't. No. That
Phelan
would be very-
takes her gun like I'm a better shooter than
Don't
you.
steal my seeing eye, bird. I do believe that would be a bit of a hate crime.
It would.
it'll only make you blind for like an hour. So
And that's an hour that I don't want to
That's
be
our
behind.
class time.
Yeah, we're going to class.
As you have like the pepper box and like the gun kind of raised, like they're slightly above the desk. There's like a voice. There's like a clearing of the throat at like the garden, at like the door to the gardens. That's like against the other wall. As there's like someone who clears their throat, and you look up and you see the Professor Rappuccini, that she's just like looking at you guys with like a dead-eyed stare.
Sorry, Professor.
I won't shoot the bloody bird.
Hi.
And she's
How are you today?
she's a very intimidating person. She's got like a dark green shirt and trousers with like dark red hair pulled back. She's like in her 50s, but like you can't like quite imagine what she must have looked like in her prime because she's hot. Like she's
You're giving us a MILF.
I knew someone was gonna say MILF, and I just wanted
knew
to.
It's the wrong time
like,
to eat a crisp.
I knew she.
Let me just get my biscoffs ready. Hello.
And like her like dark eyes just kind of. I would prefer if you did not have guns out in the class. And like with like even with her tiredness, you just kind of want like she's not like gentle or anything in the suggestion, but like she looks real tired.
Yeah, Bonnie,
And-
don't have guns out during class.
Right, sorry.
Sorry,
Bonnie,
Professor.
As she's to put away her gun, she actually has a small homunculus by her seat. It is a small, it looks like a boiler with a little moustache and two brass eyes, with very small mock little glasses that she's just made on for decoration. It's powered with steam and such and kind of floats slightly. She opens up the back of it and kind of pops her gun into there, and as she puts it in, it kind of dissolves into like a blue arcana and goes into its inventory.
Lydia's been trying to poke that the whole time. I'm trying so hard to just sneak a little.
Don't leave him alone.
I just
Leave him alone. Stop it.
just one.
Stop it. Stop it.
So like the professor starts just like preparing like the lesson, and she's like rustling the papers on her desk and starts just like automatically taking pieces of paper from like different piles and like places in the desk. Like she knows where everything is. And like talking in the class has definitely decreased because they're all like, we don't want to get told off. We don't want to get told off. Please don't call on me. Like that sort of energy. And there's this like big shadow that like falls over your desk behind you, and like you kind of turn around and you look up, and Cornelius, this like big Goliath with like this like dark hair kind of combed back, is kind of looking down with like his like, they look comically small even though they're like textbooks. They look small in his hands, and he's just like holding them all, and he's like, hi, so my group is sick, and I know Harvey's in your group, and he's out on a private project, but I know.
Sit down. Come on.
Yeah, sure.
He sits down too hard, and like the chair kind of splinters a little bit, but he just kind of like keeps squatting. He like sets the textbooks down on the table, and he's like, I love the hat. He's like pointing it.
Mine doesn't like the hat.
It looks like Bonnie's hat. Doesn't
I
it,
know.
Bonnie?
It's
Made to match. It's great.
It could be best friends, I'm sure.
And like Rappuccini clears her throat again as it's gotten like a little loud over the excitement of the hat again, and like Cornelius just like stares at his textbook, and he's not looking.
Every time she like clears her throat, Vidya just looked over like, hello, you look lovely today. Did you do something new with your hair? I think it looks like you have new shampoo.
Vidya, don't be a kid's ass.
I'm not. I'm being honest.
Doesn't he?
Bonnie's very like loudly whispering.
I'm not
like,
a kiss ass. I'm honest when I say nice things. It does. It looks more shiny. I'm honest when I say nice things. The other people do kiss assing. I don't do that. I mean it. What is different about her hat?
Rappuccini is just like calmly putting like pulling plants off of like a metal like shelf she has in the corner that's like full of like these different plants just like covering and like curling and everything. And she like takes like some of them and like puts them on like this long counter in the front of the class, and she like sets down this big potted plant and like a few of the smaller ones, and she also takes out like a stopper of like something that looks like dark red in like a small bottle with like a stopper, and she places it next to the bigger pot, and she like takes it out, and she also like pulls on these long leather black gloves like all the way up almost like to her armpit, and she puts them on, and she takes out the stopper, and she's like, today we will be identifying the Crimson Hand. And as she like puts a few drops into the pot, there's like this slow curling like dark red moss with like, you can see like little glimmers of like white vines underneath, so it looks like a bloody hand emerging from the pot and just kind of like curling a little bit. But it's not, that's like as far as it goes, and it takes like a few minutes to do that as well. And she like sets down the stopper, and she calmly like she has the full attention of the class now. She calmly takes one of her hands and she touches it lightly to the back of like the hand, and it immediately snaps back and like grasps her arm, and as it like holds on, like as it snaps into action, the plant like snaps around Rappuccini's hand and starts pulling, like trying to pull the hand into the pot. And like the light white vines that you could like kind of see underneath the moss like flexes, and there's these white thorns that kind of emerge from under the red moss, and Rappuccini calmly like takes the bottle with like the stopper with like the other hand, and she just like pours it on the other side of the pot, and it goes and like dives back into the dirt.
Oh, absolutely not.
I love everything about that. That was very cool.
Very interesting.
And she like lectures for a while on like some of the other like different things that like poison can react to, and of like just like if it depends on like the skin to skin contact, depends on if you ingest it, depends on if like you smell something, or if it gets in your eyes, or if you like put it like accidentally brush something and then brush it through your hair, then that can have different effects. There's different long lasting terms of different things, and she goes on and like talks about these things. And I'll switch to like a different little area of the campus. In another part of the campus, there's this young man who's like sitting in a chair that's like slightly too small for him, and it's not the chair's fault, and it's not like an attempt to like intimidate before like they even go in the office. This is just, this guy's like, how tall is Kit? Yeah, he's tall.
He's a big boy.
Lion man. And he's like sitting in this chair that is just like slightly too small for him, and he's like waiting patiently. And what else does Kit look like?
He is 6'3". He has strawberry blonde hair that's about to his shoulders. He's got some, facial hair. He's wearing nicer clothes than you would normally see him in. He's got a proper waistcoat on, a proper like nice shirt, and like a blue. He doesn't look uncomfortable, but he does look out of place, and like he's not quite sure what to do. He's human, and so he's just kind of sitting there, and he's trying not to take up too much space, which is kind of hard. And the chair is not making him feel like he's, not conspicuous at all. So he's just sitting there waiting, and he probably keeps pulling out a worn pocket watch and just kind of like clicking it open, looking at the time, closing it, kind of like fiddling with it, and then they'll like check the time again, stick it back in his pocket, take it back out a minute later.
And like as he's doing that, he doesn't quite hear the door like open next to him, actually, just because like the door clicks at the same time as like he opens the watch. And then like around the corner there's like a small sort of like cane that like it's like elegant, it's like dark with like a kind of a silverish skull at the top. And out steps one of the headmasters, Mary Shelley. She steps out and she looks over and she goes, "Heirloom?"
He's going to kind of like start and immediately stand up out of respect. Hold on. And I'll describe Mary Shelley a little bit. She's got like dark hair. She's like fairly young. She's like mid to late 20s. And she's got like a dark dress on as well, with like it's not like a morning dress, but it's still like dark with like sort of dark vines curling up, and like a small jacket that's just like it's like kind of a cropped jacket. And she stands with a cane, and the jacket is closed very like determinedly over like this area of her chest. Buttoned up tall.
Yeah, it's like buttoned up, like she's like fully covered, like Victorian. And she is also like pretty small as well. She's like 5'4", so she's like looking up at you like.
Yeah, he stands up quickly out of like respect, because it's like, oh, you don't stay sitting, especially when a lady enters the room.
And he stands up and like is still holding the watch. Like he goes to put it away, but he realizes like he registers that she like asked about it, so he's like it keeps it out and kind of looks down at it and looks at her, and he's like, it was my father's, and he like holds it out to kind of like show her, and just kind of be like,
And she like looks at it closely, and she's like, "This looks familiar mechanically. Do you know who the maker of the watch is?"
He shakes his head and be like, no, my mother just passed it on to me when I was old enough. Didn't get much background on it.
Yeah. Yes. It just looked slightly familiar. And she like hands it back. There isn't like any like distinct markings on it or anything. There's like slight detailing on the edges maybe, but like there's not much to like identify who the maker of this is.
Right.
But as she's like talking, there's also like another voice that appears like kind of at your shoulder, and there's you just hear the voice of like, "Yes, well," and like you look to the side and you see like this guy with like kind of like crazy salt and pepperish hair with like a goatee, and like he's got like scorch marks on his coat, like there's very clearly marks that have been kind of like ironed away or like tried to be hidden, but like this one is a fresh one, and it's like right off the shoulder of his jacket, like he was just like, it looks like a shot, like he was just like there's no bleeding or anything, and he just like is like staring, and he's like, "Yes, that's expert mechanic. Yeah, yes. Vern, Jules Vern."
Thank you. And he holds his hand out and he says, Kit Morris.
Yeah. This is another one of the there are 3 headmasters to Glassrook, and these are 2 of them. And Headmaster Shelley has already like turned and started going back into like her office, and Vern just like immediately like turns and starts heading into, like, completely confident, not phased at all by like Shelley's just like, and just kind of like neither of them look at you.
Kit kind of like stands in the hall for a second and like looks around, and is just kind of like just kind of shakes his head a little bit, and then he just follows after him.
Yeah. And it's like a very, it looks like the head of something's like office. Like there are bookcases lining each side of the hall. There's like a window of like facing out into the main area, along with like there's the 2 other branches of the building that also face into the front, which is probably where the other headmasters' offices are. And there's a like dark like hardwood desk that's like near the window, but not like right flush against it, not like CEO level, but like pushed a bit further in. And Shelley is already like sitting down in her chair, and like resting her cane against the other side of the desk. And Vern just like sits nonchalantly on like one of there are like 2 chairs facing the desk, and he sits in one and just like starts picking at some like papers on her desk, and then she takes out the cane and like tries to get his hands. Get off my papers. You have your own office.
Kit is going to kind of like stand in the doorway for a moment, and then kind of like, at Shelley's just kind of like beckon. He's gonna walk in and he's gonna sit down in the other chair, kind of like side-eyeing Vern a little bit, just kind of like, what am I getting myself into, kind of. But he's like, I'm here now.
Apologies, Mr. Morris. Some of us are not as some of us are more eccentric than others, and he was rather interested in sitting in on this meeting due to the possibility of building a railroad around Glassrook and nearby, at least in the town of Glassrook, and how this would benefit Glassrook University directly, as we don't have a fast track line to our area and what we have, and how this would benefit us, as this is still an early institution, and it would be very beneficial for, well, maintaining a connection with students with their families and students who have their own businesses to attend to, and she like starts listing off all these other situations, and like Vern is just kind of like starts getting bored for a while, after a while, and he does like take out like just like a little mechanism and like starts taking out like a little toolkit and starts like messing with different stuff.
Stop Shelly, because he can tell she's like a little bit anxious and just kind of like rambling a bit, and she's probably like kind of circling around and saying the same things. So he's gonna very tactfully, because you know Kit's very easygoing, makes people feel at ease. He's just gonna kind of be like, well, yes, I wanted to have this meeting as well because the railroad would be very beneficial, and I was looking at a property in the area to invest in, and as you may know, I have some ties to the university, and am interested in its future. I'm always looking into new places to invest in, good people to invest in, so
Exactly, and
it could be mutually beneficial for both of us.
yes, and it's very much in the mind of Glassrook to look towards the future instead of dwelling on the past. And she like takes out like the contract that like you'd seen before, and this is more like a final meeting and like making sure, like, because this has all been done over like letters and papers and everything. But she like slides it towards you and is like, with this there would be a 3 to 4 year commitment between your minds and our intellectual properties in building our own sort of steam engines, railroads, mechanisms, several different things.
He's gonna kind of like take the papers and like look them over a little bit. He's probably seen like preliminary drafts.
Yeah, you can roll like insight or investigation or yeah.
Ooh, let me look at the stats real quick. We're gonna do insight because that is double what my investigation is. Oh, I rolled a nat 20, baby. First roll of the game.
Yes. Okay. You know, like a bit more about like the recent history of this university. It's been around for like 1 or 2 years, and there's been a lot of like interest in it, but a lot of people are hesitant to invest in it. So it's been a bit rough, especially because there isn't a direct line or like fast travel to get
a little remote.
to Classroom. Yeah, so this would be like a definite boon to the university, and that's why they're so like tense to lock this down. Because this could mean life or death for the university.
Right, exactly. He's gonna kind of like skim over it a bit and, you know, get the gist of it and everything pretty quickly. And he's gonna look up at Shelly and smile and be like, you know, well, this all looks excellent. And he's gonna be like, do you have a pen on you?
And she's like, yes. And she like immediately like takes out the drawer and like hands you like a fountain point.
Amazing, incredible. And Kit is going to sign the contracts, and then he's gonna slide him back over to her.
At a level of warlock. No, I'm kidding.
Ah, dang it!
I gotcha.
You got me on a nat 20. I would have known.
Yeah.
I would have seen through that.
So like the meeting goes on for like a few more minutes of just like kind of chatting a little bit, and then Vern kind of sits up a little bit and he's like, I thought I don't know why I thought we'd build a train for and he just like stands up.
You thought they were gonna build the train right then and there?
And Shelly is just like, like now you understand why Shelly is so tired.
Yeah, Kit is going to. Did Vern stand up?
Yeah, Vern kind of like stands up and like has put away like the small, like he was working on like a tiny pistol and like that away.
Kit is gonna like stand up as well and turn to Vern, and he's gonna be like, I'll make sure you're on the work site when they start work on it. I'm sure your expertise
They can't get me off.
Well, he's gonna be like, I'm sure your expertise will be much appreciated, sir.
It'll be wonderful. And he like shakes your hand and then like turns and like just opens the door and walks out and then like turns the other way, like went in the wrong direction. And Shelly
at like the green stains left on his hands because like of the oil and stuff that he's working at, that he's gonna like pull out a handkerchief. He's gonna almost wipe it on his pants and then be like, wait a minute, I'm wearing nice clothes, because he's used to being out in the desert. So he's gonna pull out like a handkerchief and just kind of like subtly like, you know, wipe the grease off his hand and like put the handkerchief back and turn it back to Shelly and just kind of be like, well, I look forward to working with you in the future, ma'am.
Thank you. And like she's like stood up with like her cane and also has like a handkerchief and she's wiping down the area that Vern was like touching her desk and is like reorganizing the papers back to the piles that they were. And she like turns and she's like, this means a lot. If you'd like, you can explore the campus. I'm sure you'd like to see your other investment.
He's gonna kind of like he's probably gonna blush like a little bit, like just the tips of his ears get a little bit pink, and he's gonna be like, I not sure what her class schedule is, but I would love to look over the campus.
Oh god. What's Vincent? No. Valentino. There's if you find a goblin, he should be around here pretty soon. He likes to do rounds around the professors to see if anyone is a double agent. Not sure for what. But you know, always appreciate people looking out for spies. And so if you find Valentino, I do believe he should be supervising the lab for, I can't remember which bio it is, but I know he'll get you there. It's fine. And she like yells, and she like, okay, well, she like turns out to the door and like is guiding you, and with like her cane. And when you get to the door frame, you actually see like down the hall on like the other side, like there's this long hallway to the end. And on the other side, there is a little goblin in like a striped shirt, like, and I'm hesitant to yell, but like Shelly just like goes, Valentino.
Valentino's response is to literally jump in the air, spin around, and when he lands back down, he goes, "What you want, you dumb bitch?"
Shelly takes like a deep breath. She has like a hard hand on her cane. And she turns to Kit and she's like, he'll get you there. And she like pushes Kit like out of her office and just like closes the door.
Before she closes the door, he's gonna be just like, Miss Shelley,
He's got
if-
like only her face like kind of poking
just,
out.
like, he's just gonna say, if you happen to remember where you recognize the mechanics of my watch from, I'd appreciate you letting me know. But only if you happen to remember.
Of course. And then she like closes the door.
He's gonna just like stand facing the door for a minute and just kind of be like, I don't know what I'm getting into, but the goblin is probably half my size, so I think I'll probably be okay, but that was a lot of energy.
While he's thinking, Valentino has already made his way down the hall.
Yeah.
And
Can you
by
describe what Valentino looks like?
Yeah, Valentino is a 3-foot tall little goblin. He's like in his 40s, so he's a little bit older, but he's very small. He's got a little mustache, and currently he's wearing like a striped shirt with a little bit of chest hair. And clearly he looks like he's dressed pretty casual today, but he wanders up to Kit, and I believe his head is around waist height for Kit, because Valentino is 3 feet tall. Kit is 6 feet tall.
6'3", yeah.
Him narrowing in his eyes a little bit, and he goes, "Damn, you're fucking huge."
Kit was like in the process of turning around when he said that and did not know that Valentino was right there. And have you ever seen when like a horse is spooked? Like they're huge and they get spooked and they're like, "Ah!" That's kind of his reaction. He like turns and is like, "Oh," and he's like, duh, and he like looks down and is like, Mr. Valentino, I presume.
Yeah, there aren't many other goblins in the school, so probably. Who are you?
He's gonna extend his hand and be like, Kit Morris.
And Valentino's gonna take it and shake it very slowly while staring at him and be like, "Valentino." Drop his hands.
Pleasure to meet you. Headmaster Shelley said you might be able to show me around the campus a bit. If you're not too busy, of course. I'm sure I can find my way. If you're...
You would not be able to find your way. No, honey. He like pats him on the thigh gently. He pats him on the thigh gently, and he's like, "You have no idea how big this campus is."
Kit in his head is just like...
But... You're American.
He's gonna kind of laugh and be like, "Well, what gave it away?" Like in a very thick southern drawl.
I don't know. I got so used to these pompous London accents and these Scottish
It's going to
accents.
just now register in Kit's head that Valentino is also American. Because like he was so just like thrown off by everything that was happening that he's gonna be like, "You're from the States too."
Born and raised in New York.
And he's like,
Just as a note, after you say like the pompous Scottish and like there's like a throat cleared on the other side of the doors. And there's like a shadow that it like appears through like there's like fogged glass, not fogged glass,
frosted.
you know, frosted glass. And there's like you can see like the slight outline because of like the light from the window. And just like through the glass you kind of hear a, "Don't you have a class to be getting to?"
Valentino's gonna pat Kid on the thigh and be like, "All right, kid, let's get going before she like eats us or something." I don't know.
Kit is now considering what he got himself into for the second time in 20 minutes. And he's gonna just follow Valentino to wherever Valentino starts to lead him.
Valentino?
Yes.
Trying to decide. Can you give me a survival check? At advantage. Because you do know the school.
Oh, okay.
But you also know this is a school that's like in the process of being constantly repaired. So there are
There it is.
things.
Watch me just
Also, while they walk, Kit is gonna take off his blazer because he's wearing too many clothes.
I got advantage, right? You said advantage?
Yes, advantage.
I got a 16.
All right, so like you do take like one wrong turn, and then like you end up out on like there's just a hallway that kind of ends, and there are like definite things that are like there's like planks of wood and like building materials around, and you're like standing there for a second as there's like 30 feet drop off, and then you'd like turn around and like go the other way. Like you always forget that one turn, but like Kit is like looking around. And he, like, almost steps over, and then he also turns around and starts following you again, and it's just... and, like, once you get down to, like, the biology, like, sector, and the, like, the labs that, like, face the actual, like, gardens and greenhouses and everything, it's, like, 10 minutes later. 15 minutes. And... for Vidya, Phelan, and Bonnie, like, Professor Rappuccini is just getting through, like, the end of, like, her lesson on, like, how to identify different poisons, and she's, like, already taken, like, the pot that, like, she, like, leans down and, like, shows you that there's only, like, the smallest circle of, like, red moss that you can see still, but she, like, shows that, and then she, like, places it back on the shelf. And she takes off the gloves that she has, and she's got, like, clean hands, and, like, but she still, like, washes them afterwards. And she also has, like, the other smaller pots of just, like, different other things, like hemlock, belladonna, like, standard poisons. And she, she starts winding down as she's, like, looking, like, more at the doorway, like, awaiting, and as, like, Valentino and Kit, like, sort of, like, they almost walk past the lab, she, like, waits for a second, like, pausing in her, and then she turns back and she's like, so, I have another meeting to attend to. So I will, and then, like, Valentino and Kit, like, turn back and they're like standing outside the doorway. Just the image of, like, this small goblin and this, like, 6'3" man who's cowboy.
He's taken his, like, blazer off now, and he's just now realizing that he is wearing his holster that has his whip on one hip and his gun on the other, and he's like, I am in a school. He's like, maybe I should put the blazer back on.
But Rappuccini, like, winds down and she, like, wipes down her desk one last time and she goes, so, in a few minutes you shall go into the gardens, identify some poisons, cures, in the greenhouses, and there shall be full credit and pass on, homework for a week for anyone who can find the cure-all. And she, like, takes a jacket that was, like, on the end of one of her chairs, and she, just, like, slides it on in, like, each arm, and, like, that great, like, charismatic way of just, like, shrugging on the, everything she does is hot. Everything! So she, like, slides it on, and, she, like, stands at the doorway and waits for, like, Valentino and Kit to, like, step over the threshold.
Shit. Okay, yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Valentino, like, scurries on in.
She, like, moves, you move kind of quickly, and she just, like, takes, like, a step back, and she, like, turns away and she's like, this shall be the supervisor for the period, and his companion.
He's like stepped into the doorway and then, like, stepped to the side, so he's standing against the wall, like, right next to the doorway, because he's just like, this was not on the agenda for today, I don't know what I'm doing. So he's just like, I'm gonna stay over here, out of the way.
kind of leans over to Bonnie like, what's your fiance doing here?
I don't fucking know, but I'm willing to find out.
Cornelius is like, "You're engaged? Congratulations!"
Well, we have.
fine.
Yeah.
Hey, and he like leans back and like looks back into the textbook. And
He hasn't
the
proven himself
professor.
worthy yet, Cornelius. That's what the thing is.
Okay.
I didn't hear a word that you fucking said. Your accent was so thick just then. It exploded the phone for me.
It's fine. It's fine.
Alright, okay.
So Rappuccini finishes and then just like walks out of the door, leaving like Valentino. Yeah, she's just like left with like the last word, and the like instructions are like written on the board, so it's not just like Valentino left to his own. God forbid. Like there's like the instructions of like the places to like stay up, like stay out. Like the gardens are big, like there is plenty of room, but like they're big, so there are like certain spaces that you're not supposed to like necessarily go into. But like different groups start like standing up and like getting ready, and it, like one or two groups just kind of like step through the gardens. This is the first time any of you have actually gone into the gardens.
Before the kids start scattering, Valentino's like gonna gather their attention and be like, "Be fucking careful, you get poisoned, I'm not sure I can save you, I don't know why I'm in charge."
A lot of them just like stop to like think for a while, and they're like,
Nice.
The one kid who is like, "I didn't study, but I think it'll be all right," is like, "I'm gonna die."
Probably kid.
And so like there's the different groups that start just stepping through the doorway, and like Cornelius is like gathering his stuff too, and he like takes note of like people leaving textbooks behind and just like sets his down, but like keeps his notebook and is like taking off his own suit jacket to like, because it's like going out into the gardens. He doesn't want to get super sweaty.
Okay, Cornelius, you need to stop overthinking this. Put your notebook down. Okay, you'll be fine. You've got your brain. You're noggin. I need everyone to double time on this because I don't need to do any homework for this lesson. If I have to do summer school again, even though I'm like way too smart to be there, like I'm gonna throw a fit. So we need to find the cute. I need that.
Alright, yeah,
Okay?
and to be honest, I don't really want more homework. I already did so much, so I'll help you. Vidya? Say one more time, sorry, you cut out.
I don't know where I was going with this. She's like, "Yeah, I help."
Cornelius kind of like goes by Vidya and is just like, I'll stick with Vidya. It's
Yeah. Bring your notebook if you want it. We can use it if we need it. I'm gonna have my notebook. She pulls out her Lisa Frank glittered puppies with really big eyes. Their brightly colored notebook, and she's like, "I'm ready to go. We've got a bed with a hat. We got this."
Kit, when he hears when Bonnie first speaks, he was like just had his eyes like on Valentino because he's just like, don't know what I'm doing here and I'm highly uncomfortable. The minute he hears Bonnie's voice, he's gonna turn and like spot her and Phelan, and he's gonna brighten up and he's gonna like head over to them because he's like, people I actually know. I don't know Valentino. He scares me a little bit, but you know, he seems cool. So
Cornelius sees you like heading over, and he puts up like he's bigger than you. You're like 6'3".
Incredible.
He's like 7'5".
Oh, incredible!
This
Kit
man
walks up and is like, "Oh, well, I don't have to look down. This is so nice." He's like, "Wow, I can stretch the other way for once."
Yeah. And like Cornelius puts out his hand. He's like, "Cornelius Allen, Allen."
Kit's gonna shake his hand heartily and be like, "Kit Morris, it's a pleasure to meet you."
American.
Yep.
Yes.
American.
He's American. He's foreign. And what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
He's gonna like look at Phelan first and be like, Miss Van Helsing, always a pleasure. And then he's gonna turn to Bonnie and be like in a hushed voice, he's like, I told you I had a meeting with Headmaster Shelley about the investments.
I know you did, but this is me, her office.
Well, I wasn't expecting to take a tour of the school, but she thought it would be a good idea to look into the investment or something, and then Mr. Allen, he's like, she said he knew the school well and he was in the area, so
he knows the school very well. No, I'm fine with that because Valentino's a right laugh. But he's near a tour guide.
Well, like, Cornelius is kind of just like standing there for a bit, and he's like, "We only have about an hour and a half."
That's my plan.
I think at one point when Cornelius was sending the video, leaned over and it's like, I'm blind, but I'm sensing so much tension right now. I'm sensing a lot of it. I don't know.
This is when Prospero asked Annabelle out to.
Oh my god, don't even
drink.
bring that up. I was writing, I had to print out so many copies of that book to produce. Everyone was eating that up for weeks.
So much.
Kit is going to like glance between Vidya and like Bonnie and just kind of like wait for her to introduce him, because like when he realizes, he's like, oh, I don't know who this person is, and she's like in the group, and he's like,
right, sorry, Vidya, this is Kit, Morris, this is Vidya, this is, Vidya, me and Kit are old school friends, well, not school friends, old childhood friends, and
Phelan says, the back.
Kit's gonna like kind of just like cut Bonnie off and be like, it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Vidya.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack there.
There's so
and
much.
we don't have time to unpack it. So I'm gonna go poke some shrooms. Is what I'm gonna go do. Come on, Cornelius, let's go poke some shrooms.
Let's go.
She's just gonna start walking away.
Yeah, I'm joining you.
She's gonna hope that everyone's
you guys
coming.
love birds alone.
Yeah, come on, let's go poke some shrooms. Faye, let's go.
If we split up, we'll get bigger grounds.
We'll cover more ground. Yeah, we'll cover more ground. Yes, me, Cornelius, and Phelan are gonna go over here and cover more ground over here.
Kid's like, I
know you're walking away, but like, I fucking know there's some attitude right here, and I don't like it. Fucking,
I don't like it.
Kid's gonna kind of be like, I mean, I can tag along if you need some help, but
yes, I'm gonna need some help. My team have just walked off without me for no goddamn reason.
You have an interesting friend, Bonnie.
You're one to talk. I'm your only friend, and I'm one. Well, I'm the anyway. Mr. Valentino.
What?
What? My team. What? Okay,
What?
my team. I'm trying to tell you. My team have gone off without me. Can you join my team?
Oh wait, we were just spreading. We were just spreading ground.
Valentino like turns around and looks at the board to see if that's against the rules. He's like,
There's nothing that says that like groups can't split up if there's too many members.
I mean, yes.
Okay, we need to find the cure-all before they do, because I'm there sharing it with them, and they can do homework for the rest of the year, and I'm not.
Okay.
For a week, right? Is there homework for like
Is it only one cure-all? Like, is this a competition between all the teams?
Yeah,
like, we're all.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, everyone.
Okay, so everyone else is just fucked. Is what I'm
Everyone
hearing.
could find the cure-all and get like a week off of, like, but
Yeah, she may have said a week. Bonnie had the rest of the year.
Forever.
Alright. So
these two groups now. So Phelan and Vidya and Cornelius walk off, and I need Phelan or Vidya to give a survival check.
Ooh,
Looking,
wait.
I was already trying to poke those strings.
I have +3 in survival. What do you have?
+1, but I'm real determined.
+4.
You
Plus
actually,
1.
both
I'm
of
just real
you,
determined.
both of you roll for survival.
Okay.
Bet.
This makes more sense.
I'm gonna roll
Yeah.
my big dice.
Yeah,
No, I'm gonna roll the dice you gave me, Faye. The one that says yeet.
Yeet!
Yeet!
Okay. Got the 16.
17.
Let's go.
Oh yes, you both like you see like there's stepping stones like clearly like out, like the moss hasn't reached them, like they're very clearly seen, and you can like go from each one to each one. There's different parts that are more like a gravel path, and this is like an expansive garden. There's like different little areas, and one or both of you can give me perception checks as well.
Perception. I have +6. What do you have?
Wow.
I mean, I have +4 and above, but it's also, I don't really care for stats. If you want to roll it,
Yeah,
roll it. If you don't
I'll
want to
roll
roll it. I don't pay attention to them too much, you know.
Eee, that is a 16 +6.
Okay, as you're like looking out very clearly, like you're looking with like a clear hunter's like stare, like looking, trying to like categorize the
Like
different...
Indiana Jones!
Yeah, like you're like 20 feet from the door, like 15 meters, I don't know. You're not too far from the door, and you're like at like this. And part of why you're like this is that you do actually notice there's like different stones that are also like peeping out from the different, like this is kind of like a cluttered garden. There aren't like boxes and like clear marked things. It kind of grows into each other into like a natural sort of habitat style.
Mm-hmm.
And poking out from like these different like moss and brush and like grasses and clover growing out of the ground, you see like different like stones, and you realize looking at them, those are gravestones. This used to be a graveyard that was turned into a garden.
Interesting. I tell my fellow compatriots about that.
Ooh.
Cornelius like stares and he's like, what?
Yeah, I stopped. There's so many things that I just question about this educational institution that I don't think are very good or make much sense. And I'm just kind of like, it's fine.
I mean,
It's fine.
I kind of get that they would use a graveyard for a botanical garden. I mean,
I thought on a school ground in general, yes, but like in an educational institution,
right.
it feels like the graveyard was here and they were like, ah, darn, we really need a garden though, and they're like, we're gonna plant it here anyway, regardless of like, you know, it just feels like in a school of magic and stuff and arcana that this is just asking for some undead to come back
to be
and
honest,
just cause problems. You know, I feel like it's just
they just want to cause problems on purpose. And
it's
you do this art class.
hazard.
Weren't you in this
The art class. Yeah, art class was crazy. The mirror was weird, and we got sucked in, and we were reading type of paintings, and they had all this stuff going on. The school is full of occupational hazards. Let me tell you.
That's why we have our lawyers like close by. To be honest,
it's the only reason that the school works is that most of the people who are rich. Is the only reason.
Yep, absolutely.
We are a factor of capitalism.
Rich kid privilege.
Rich kid privilege.
So like
Also,
you
and
continue.
I hold Cornelius's hand.
Yeah.
As if he's
Oh.
brave, and he's
And
like
he holds
nervous.
he
and kind of
holds
just
like he holds like both of he holds one of yours and both of his.
I let Gracia sit on his shoulder so that he does not feel nervous.
Tiny hat helps.
It's so tiny. I'll get you one too. It's very cute. Stop. This is
So cute.
Like, he was and he like keeps like these like stepstones are like very like they're like it's like weird steps for him, so he's also just like trying to avoid touching trees because he's like, what if it gets me? He like turns to Vidya and is like, I actually have a secret. I'm allergic to grass.
like all the grass?
All just grass.
Like the big, like, yeah. Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
I hives.
Oh no.
This is a like a mandatory credit, so I have
Yeah.
to take this.
I feel like they should have accommodated for you and what you literally have going on. They should have adjusted.
I'm not as rich as you guys, so it
I
doesn't
know, but
matter
they-
as much.
Oh, not that. Okay, that.
It-
And she like inhales, and exhales. Is like, we'll do about this after class. I'll do something about it. But for now, just be careful where you walk, and if something happens, we will get you out of here and get you over. I know a good friend, Harvey. I think he's doing other research, but he's very good at medicine. And we also have a school nurse. But I don't know. I kind of trust Harvey more. But it'll be okay. I'll keep an eye out for you.
We can do this. And like,
You're gonna be hyper aware now. Like,
like
But he only said that to Vidya, so Phelan has no fucking clue.
yeah, Phelan is still just like
She's like
looking at the
scouting
different
the
graves.
area. Like she's like,
Yeah.
like
Phelan's
on
finding the
ground,
thing.
Like
And like
That
you've
way.
got like a really good
oh, good for him. Yeah, look at.
you've got like a really good perception, so you can also like you can tell the ages of these gravestones. These are not recent by any means. These are like really, really old. Like you can make out like one of the dates, maybe. And it's like 100+ years ago.
have you seen on TikTok the girl that goes around like cleaning gravestones?
Yes!
Phelan is like making a note like, maybe one day she'll
Freak
go
listen.
around cleaning the gravestones like after school, like, I should probably do that. And she takes a note of that at the back of her head.
It's funny you say that as well, because you do actually notice the difference in some of the gravestones, that some of them are cleaner than others, even though like they're
Ooh.
older.
Someone does
So,
go around cleaning the
does look like-
gravestones.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let me just write that down real quick. Let me just.
So then switching back to Bonnie, Kit, and Valentino. So you guys, you guys head out into the garden and like you spent a little bit of time like arguing and just talking, and you head out. And I need all three of you to give me survival check.
All right, I'm gonna use my
boy.
new dice. What did I get? This new dice is shit.
Oh no!
Oh,
I mean,
no,
they were
no,
for
no.
Gwen, so if you're using them for Bonnie, I can't be held responsible.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna use one of my luck points, and I'm gonna redo that roll.
I got an
I'm
11.
not keeping a 2.
Okay,
I'll take. All right, that's not
you got a 5.
I got a 5.
Okay.
Valentino walks out and all the plants are taller than him, and he's like, "Yep, this is the garden."
Lions
All right,
grab
time to go,
him and
boys.
take him to the sky.
So long.
I rolled a 14, but I'm gonna use my flash of genius to +4 to that roll, and then I also get +1 wisdom. So that's 19 total.
Okay. So Bonnie, you step out first into the garden and you go on like the same. You notice the same stones, and like there's a couple of different ways that they kind of branch off. So you just take like the direct route forward. And behind you, Kit just kind of follows your lead and like looks around, kind of trips at first, and like notices that there's actually like this is a garden. This is beautiful. Like there's like ivy, there's like the sun kind of like goes through, because there is like kind of the glass
like along the very top. This is like a huge greenhouse in a sort of way.
He's not used to seeing like gardens like this because like
Yeah.
you know back home there are like green places sort of, but it's like cacti and shrubs and stuff like that. So he's just like, and he loves nature, so he's like,
and
he's
so like
thriving.
you
He's excited
yes,
about
so
it.
you like look out and you see like beautiful flowers along the path. There's like trees that are just like bearing fruit, and there's like ivy crawling along, like just like gently holding stones that are peeking out of the ground. And like you just see like all the beauty in it.
Can he pick a little flower and give it to Bonnie?
Yes, and I will do a choice. Like open, there's like little lavender buds on like thin dark vines that are like curled around stones, and there's like it almost looks like a tiger lily on like similarly like orange and like with like red thorns like curling around like a tree itself. So you can choose between the purple flower, the small lavenderish flower, or the tiger lily looking flower.
I'm so ready for you to poison her.
Yeah.
He's
Which one will he
going-
kill her with?
He's going to go for the purple one, the little purple one.
A little purple one.
Does this go straight up be Belladonna?
Straight up just murders her.
So
You know that audio where it's like, if you were my wife, I give you poison. If you were my
If you
husband,
would, I would drink it.
so you take this purple flower, and it like snaps easily off of the vine, and you just kind of like do you like just give it to her immediately?
he's gonna kind of pick it, and then he's gonna kind of like, she's like ahead of him, so he's gonna kind of like sidle up, kind of like beside her, and like put his arm like around, and like give her the flower and be like, "It's for you."
Oh, thank you so much.
He's like,
a flower.
he's like, I know you're not big on nature, but I don't know. Maybe you could put it in your buttonhole or something.
In my buttonhole. Yeah, I'm wearing a brooch that clashes, by the way. Like, what part of my outfit says, yeah, purple goes?
He's gonna be like, Bonnie, you literally picked out the outfit I'm wearing today. I clearly don't know much about fashion.
I know, you do actually look very smart. Wait, did you go in there wearing your holster?
I had a blazer on. I left it in the classroom.
While this is happening, Valentino, you're the last to leave the classroom, and immediately outside of the classroom, there is like this fruit-bearing tree, and there's like fruit like on the ground that's like just like recently fallen, and it looks like a mango. It looks straight up like a mango.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Valentino's like, hey, free food. Hey.
He's not that
$1?
Like, is it like in my way? Can I like step over it?
You can step over it. It just looks like good food. It looks like a mango.
I don't know if Valentino eats his fruit.
That's fair.
He's like, it's not alcohol or
Meat.
Nah. Meat.
He just
He's
like
gonna,
juices
like, keep
it
the
and
tree.
adds it to his flask.
He's gonna like cautiously step over it, and then like wander up behind Bonnie and Kit. And like while they're having this awkward exchange, he's like literally standing in between them, but they don't notice.
Oh my god.
Like he's standing there like looking in between them, like and like he's speaking up at like as they're bickering, and he's like, you know what this reminds me of?
Jesus fucking Christ.
You know what this reminds me of?
No.
when I first met my wife.
Oh, you.
Kid's gonna kind of brighten up at that and be like, "Ah, you're married.
Oh no,
That's
don't
the
ask. No,
love-
no.
That's lovely."
I am married, actually, to
here
the
we
most
go.
beautiful woman that's ever existed on the planet ever.
I'm sure she's lovely.
She's gorgeous. Humongous. She's humongous. And gorgeous. Gigantic.
Good for you.
He points at Cornelius in the distance. He's like, "You see that big bitch?"
You can see like Cornelius's head above like certain like cobblestone walls and like
Cornelius. Yeah, we met briefly earlier.
She was bigger.
She's what? I didn't know she was that big.
Kid's
She,
gonna like look at Valentino and then kind of glance at Cornelius and be like, "Good for you." Like,
All right, but like, could she crush you with her thighs? Just,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you know what? Honestly, good taste. Good taste.
Thank you.
Faye, do I know what kind of flower this is?
Do a nature check.
Okay, these numbers are so small for my poor short-sighted eyes. Nature, that's +4. Okay, that's a 17.
Okay, you recognize this as animum agraire, which I'm butchering Latin. But
Nice.
you know that this is poisonous if inhaled. And can like cause not permanent damage, but damage for a while. It's not great. It's not great.
Bunny's just gonna flick the flower off to the side, and she's just, that's nasty.
kind of like he wasn't really expecting anything different. He got carried away for a moment and forgot who his fiance was, and he was like, "Oh yeah."
She's
well.
like wiping her hands of it, and she like, you know, that was like extremely poisonous.
Kid's gonna like glance back at the plant and be like,
Wait,
"Right, well,
Valentino, did you tell him what class this is? Oh, okay, sweetie, honey. It's a poison plant class. We're learning about poisons.
he's just gonna like tuck his hand and just kind of like he's gonna glance over at the plant that's like right next to him and just kind of like take a step to the side and just kind of be like, well, I'm just gonna follow your lead then."
Alright. Here's a question, Phelan. If I cast True Sight or True Seeing, will
You
I
mean
be able
Fae?
to see this cure-all?
You mean just Faye? Me?
Yeah, you said
You said
Phelan.
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 Oh, did I say Phelan?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
It's so nice that I'm
sorry.
always on your mind, babe. That's okay.
I'm gonna pretend he didn't hear that.
You wouldn't be able to see it just because this is just nature. This is identifying.
I was hoping I could be lazy.
Mm.
Fine. Let me see if I've got a spell I can use, like a proper spell. Gross.
I think I'm going to switch back to Phelan, Vidya, and Cornelius as you guys are like going off of like I think the left side path out of the gardens. And you guys are like going down this path trying to like identify the different poisons and like you notice like a few like beneficial herbs. It's not like these are cure-alls. This is like chamomile and peppermint and like basil. There is apparently basil in this garden.
Phelan
this, like,
does
wild.
take one of the peppermint leaves and just eats one of them.
Yeah.
They're really
So you like go down this path and Phelan, give me a perception check with advantage because you got a good one on the graves last time.
Yeah. But give me 2 seconds. Ooh, thank you for the advantage. So that is I suck at math. That's 1, 2. That's a 24.
Okay, you can see clearly, like, the differences in the gravestones are getting, like, starker. And, like, not that these are, like, newer or, like, any closer in date. These are still, like, 100+ years. But they are cleaner. And they're, like, any moss is, like, scraped off. There are some, like, vines that are curled around them. There's, like, some moss that is creeping back up. But these are, like, clean.
Okay.
It's like very it's different in that, like, the ones closer to the classroom, there is like maybe 1 or 2 that had been cleaned maybe a few months before. But these are like a few weeks.
Okay. Can I just try to follow the trail to the newest one, or the one that the earth has, like, touched?
Yes. Roll investigation or survival.
Well, I think my survival is better. So that's a 16.
Okay, you follow this, like, these, like, little path stones, and you're still, like, you are noticing that, like, these are getting, like, newer, and you do take a turn, and you notice that, like, these are older as you turn to the other side, and you see that these are cleaner. And so you go to, like, the right side this time, and, like, Vidya and Cornelius are still, like, following behind, kind of, like, talking and, like, noticing, like Vidya is trying to point out, like, the ones that aren't poison.
Mm-hmm.
Like basil. Cornelius is like, I love
Be like, I love pesto. I love using this in my cooking.
oh, I love a good hummus. And like, he's like getting like genuinely relaxed now of like, yeah, like he's like good. He doesn't even notice that like he's not too concerned with like Phelan is leading. He's like, yes, let Phelan lead.
She is telling them though, like all the things that you're telling me, like, oh yeah, the gravestones, and like, oh, this is very interesting because this is a lot newer. Maybe if we go to the newest, cleanliest one, you know, we can maybe that's where it's buried or something, or we can find a clue there.
Yeah, we can ask the gardener.
Oh,
Is there a gardener?
No.
Do we have?
I don't think.
Maybe it's Rappuccini.
I think sorry, I forgot the accent. I think this is what we have to do as a group, as a class. It's kind of like a competition, you know. Are you? Would you say you're competitive, Cornelius?
I'd say I want to graduate.
That's valid. That's valid.
You know what?
That's something.
And I want to be the best. So I think this is a really good vibe that we have. We can work together on this. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll help.
Well, you're helping. You're definitely helping.
A lot of eye contact.
I can look down if you'd like me to.
Cornelius also looks down, and like Gracia is actually like down there now and like just looking up at you guys now.
Alright, so you don't like eye contact, that's fine. I'll just not speak to you looking into your eyes, right?
It's fine. You just got a little intense.
Can't make eye contact.
Oh, I love you.
Cornelius is like,
don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh, Vidya. I feel really, really bad if I do.
I want either of you to give me another perception roll.
Alright. Do you want to do it, since I've been doing them lately?
Sure. I will actually send Gracia up to try and get a different perspective.
Yeah.
To like fly ahead of us and kind of bob and weave and bob and use her
and
weave.
plus, like, Phelan and Cornelius were like absorbed in like this conversation, so like you were still kind of looking around a little bit.
Yeah, okay, and send her off. How do you know? Oh, spicy. It's
Spicy?
gonna be 18, 19, 20, 21. 21.
Yeah, look at us.
You pick up a laugh that's cut off. Someone laughs at your joke. And it's like off the path, and it's behind like some of like these these cobblestone walls and everything that like kind of make the garden a bit of a maze. And you
Even
hear just like
nature thinks I'm funny. Even nature thinks I'm funny. Can Gatia see that person? Or thing, or entity, or where it's coming from?
Then let me check. Yeah. She sees like easily because this person like tries to like throw themselves on the ground because they're like, oh my god, I made a sound. And it's this like I want to say this because this is hilarious. I rolled at disadvantage. And their stealth is -1, and I got a nat 20 and a 5.
Oh my god.
So like they throw themselves onto the ground and they're like looking up and they see like this bird kind of circle like above them. Like they're like on the other side of this little area. Like there's even like a little like you could get through this little like not alleyway, but like, you know, little over to them. But they're, and I'll describe them to you, Vidya. They've got they're metal. They are like an automaton, but like sort of the same thing as like Eric, who you might have seen. But they have like moss and vines and like earth and all these different vines and plants just kind of like growing off of them. And they've got like these, like a smooth, like metallic face that's kind of rusted a little bit because they are just like out in nature apparently all the time. With like hair that's like much darker, and it looks like they've actually tried to make it darker on purpose, like almost tried to like dye metal. So it looks like completely black, and it's pretty short, and curls out a little bit and kind of puffs with like this like kind of patchwork shirt they have on that kind of just like covers the top half with like some like loose trousers, and they've got like no shoes because they've got metal feet. And these like dark eyes are like watching the bird as it like goes by because it hasn't seen a bird before.
I will like Vidya's gonna keep up the conversation that's happening between Phelan and Cornelius, but she's gonna have Gatia like slowly descend down a couple little bit away from the person, but in their line of sight, and kind of pitter patter closer. A thing I recently took when we leveled up is the ability to speak through Gratia. So without even having to open my mouth where I am, I can have my voice come through her. And it's gonna be like, hello, I am very sorry for spooking you, but I'm glad you liked my joke.
They like sit up and like
I'm not the bird. Well, the bird is very intelligent, but the bird's also actually me. I'm a yellow tiefling that's over yonder, but I didn't want to jump through and spook you or bring attention to you if you didn't want to be noticed.
Do all birds do this?
No, my bird is actually a familiar, not quite a normal bird. Semantic. Yeah.
Huh. Wow. I didn't realize class was getting out. I didn't.
Do you normally stay in here and like hide when classes happen?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the one rule my mom gave me, so I kind of try and follow it.
That sounds kind of lonely, though.
I mean, I try and push it sometimes and try and stay out a little longer, but it's not. What's your name?
I'm Vidya. My brother's name is Gratia. Vidya de Centibus.
I'm Nicodemus. I never introduced myself before. I'm Nicodemus. Rappuccini.
You hold up the hand. I think Gratia just kind of like brushes her head against it because she can't really shake what she will.
And he just kind of like pets Gratia's head like a little bit, being like super like ginger, like he's not sure how to touch another thing.
It's who your mom is. Is she the teacher or?
Oh, yeah. I'm Rappuccini. She technically, well, she did create me, and I do consider her family. I don't, she has me and I have her.
Okay. Well, we only have just met, and you have not spoken to me face to face because right now I am talking to a bird and overdoing my assignment with my friends. We're looking for a cure-all, but if you want to have someone else, you could also have me. And if maybe not me, if you want someone else, I have a lot of friends who are very, very nice, and we are very, very good at sneaking in where we shouldn't be, and we could come and say hi to you sometimes.
That sounds very nice.
Have you ever read fan fiction?
I don't know how to read.
There's this fun little fact about me. I'm blind and everyone thinks that I can't read, but I can, and I can teach you how to.
And he just, like, the metal, like, moves, and he just, like, smiles. Like, the metal of their face is, like, very easy to smile.
Oh.
And they're, like, kind of on all fours-ish, just, like, starting to, like, peek around the wall corner.
Do you want to meet my friends? Would that be okay? They're very nice. There's Cornelius. He's very, very sweet. He's the big one, but he's very, very kind. And there's Phelan, and she's very, very strong, but she's also very nice.
Okay.
Okay. Stay right here. Stay right here where you feel safe. I will go tell them.
Yeah, he's just, like, kind of
He
bouncing
leaves
a little bit.
Grazia there, and just lets Grazia, like, pitter-patter around. And she, like, comes back into herself and is, like, actually paying attention to the conversation. Whatever they were actually talking about.
Cornelius
one
is
of my
like,
favorite things to actually eat is peppermint leaves. Like, do not eat anything else that kind of looks like it, but like, it's just so nice to just have a snack.
it's great at home. we have a garden ourselves, but it's not so intense.
Right, but most gardens are not this
wild
intense.
Strawberries.
Oh, I do like strawberries. Strawberries are quite nice. Yeah.
I hate to interrupt the conversation about food, but I have a thing.
Oh, did you see something?
Yeah, I was letting Gratia go out and see things, and she didn't see the flower, but she did see someone, an automaton. He was here. Apparently the creation of the head of the teacher who runs this class. They're not supposed to be seen or not supposed to be here while we're out, so they were hiding. But I introduced myself and I introduced you two as well and said that we are cool and that we want to be friends and that we come hang out. So then I was like, I'll go tell them, and now I'm coming to tell you about it in case you want to go meet them.
Absolutely. Is it really rude of me but to think that maybe they know where it is?
Perhaps they could help us, but I more like want to be their friend.
Yeah, because
I know Bonnie cares a whole lot about the assignment and getting it, but this matters more to me. So if you guys want to go off and go keep looking, that's okay.
She's like, if it matters to you, Vidya, then we'll go say hi to the automaton. It's alright, we've got time.
Let's go. Okay. She like scurries over to the forest and like peeks and was like, "Hi, I'm actually Vidya. This is what I look like. I'm not the bird anymore."
Nicodemus has like a bunch of like different flowers that are just like around in the area, and she's got them like in a bunch, and they like smile and they're like, "Hi."
Video buffer for like a hot moment, just like,
Too much?
no, I'm just really emotional by your kind gesture. That is so sweet. Thank you. And she takes it.
Wait, are some of them poisonous?
You will have to make a
I will
survival check.
perceive it.
Please, please, please.
Actually, Constitution saving throw.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Right.
Let's go.
Please. Please don't die. Please don't die.
I
It
hope
would be
not.
worth
It'd
it.
be quite
It
the way
would
to
be
go.
worth it,
I'm
yeah.
so happy. Yeet! Natural 20!
Oh,
Yeet!
you
It's
like
you dice, so it's
take
yeet.
yes, you like take a whiff and like you kind of smell bitterness from like one from like a few of them like incoming, so you just kind of like you have strong other senses because you're blind, and so you can like smell like the one actual poppy in like the and you like take a good smell and you're like and he like looks at you and he's like,
She looks at them and she's like, I don't think, hold these for very long. So here's what we're going to do. Some of these are poisonous. Oh
he's
no!
like,
Oh,
and like throw it.
No. Okay, well, you know what? I'll take the gesture. I was gonna say you like put them somewhere, then like I can do something with them later with some gloves. But for, I like the no, it's okay. I like the gesture.
Right.
Also, this is Cornelius. This is Phelan.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Cornelius like waves a little, and Nicodemus just like mirrors it.
Right.
This is Nicodemus.
Great. So we're your new friends, eh?
I've never had the opportunity for a nickname before.
You want to be Nick
Nick?
or Demas?
Nick!
Oh, Nico?
Nico!
Or Demas or
Nico?
Nico's cute.
Do you like
That's Nico.
Nico?
Nico's real Nico.
Nico is nice. It suits you. Well, it's shorter than your name. Nico. All right, Nico. So what do you do in this garden? Are you kind of like a gardener?
Yeah, I garden a little bit. I kind of take care of all the plants because like nothing really hurts me.
Right,
there's
obviously.
a few things that can hurt me, but I mean it's very nice. I've kind of run out of plants that need taking care of sometimes, so I kind of go out and clean some gravestones sometimes because I
You're
know.
doing cleaning the gravestones.
Well, yeah, I mean the only company I kind of had before.
What do you mean? The stones or the plants or the ghosts? Are there ghosts in the gravestones?
Ghosts? I haven't seen ghosts really, but I mean all of the other things. Yeah, it's really neat. I mean, I don't really go out among these. You're the first people I've ever kind of talked to other than my mum.
Keep it a secret from your mum. You know, make it special.
Is there a reason that no one can know about you? Because we have automatons that go to school here and kinds of things.
Yeah, we do. Eric.
Yeah.
You have
Eric goes to school here. He's an automaton. He goes to class. He was just in our class with us.
Wow. It's I know that I know automatons aren't necessarily common. My mom has told me that like I was one of the like she made the blueprints for me. She did eventually sell them because she could not afford to keep them for a while. But I know that I yeah.
Maybe she didn't want anyone to take away how you were made or use you for something or just keep you safe.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, see, your mom and me are best friends. Obviously, she likes me. I'm like her favorite student in the class.
It's true. It's true.
She never yells at me.
No,
I
she
don't think
doesn't.
she can. I don't think she can. So maybe we can ask her how she feels about it later.
Okay.
Your mum knows that I'm always strapped, so she never yells at me either. But it's different.
Oh, she is too.
That's out of like, I don't know. I feel like you guys respect each other in like a duelist way. Like you could just have the sheets out, but that would be really inappropriate.
It would.
But also, we're also good students. Like we're the good students of the class. We do our homework on time, and
absolutely.
we answer all the questions, and you know. So I feel like we're doing good.
Oh. And Cornelius like kind of like has like been taking notes of like the different like things around in the area, just as like red.
You're so smart. We do need to be looking for that plant. We do need to find it.
We do.
And like Nico kind of like looks at Cornelius's notes, and she kind of goes, "So like what are you looking for?"
You're all right.
I can think of things that can cure. There's like a big area I can take you if you want.
All right. I think that's the start.
All right. Let's go. And he just kind of like
in the
takes,
area for.
He like takes a big like leap, and there's like a creak from his knees. And they don't like take off, but they start running, and then they like pause, and she turns around and she goes, usually it's just me. I'll walk. And he like takes like a jaunty step. And they're just like walking backwards.
He does little dance. When he starts doing a little dance,
Tell
video like
everybody I'm on my way.
Video like sees the massive distance between them, and it's just like, no, I'm here for this. This is great. And she's gonna like unfurl her wings and soar across to make keep the distance.
So then we can go back to Bonnie, Kit, and Valentino. Still talking about how much Valentino loves his wife.
Oh, wait, quick note.
Big woman.
Quick note. What are Nico's pronouns? We're asking in chat.
Oh, they're gender fluid. So she, her, he, him, they, them.
Collectively.
They're metal. They're druid. They're a druid, so they can literally
attack
wild
helicopter?
shape into anything.
Attack helicopter pronouns also are valid? Cool.
Yes.
Okay,
What's in their pants? Plants.
What?
Nice.
So Bonnie, Kit, Valentino, you're like having this conversation, and like time has definitely passed, and it does definitely like hit Bonnie at least once, like for a little bit of like time's passing.
Can I roll perception, investigate something? I want to find that goddamn cure-all.
Yes, roll investigation or nature.
Poor Bonnie, we just are not trying at all.
18 plus investigation or perception. They're the same. Plus 4, 22.
Okay, so you like look around at all the plants, and you recognize a lot of them just because you have like actually opened a textbook at some point, and then you like look through and you recognize the different plants. None of these are a cure-all. And like looking down the path, you can see like healthier plants sprinkled out further along down there, but none of them are like around you right now.
Right, we need to move quicker. Come on. I need to find this cure-all. I need to just have a break from having anyone nag me for homework. That'd be nice. So keep your eyes peeled for. Do I know what a cure-all looks like?
No, there is like very little description of what the cure-all is. That's not the name of the plant. That's just a description. So like if you'd been doing maybe some reading outside of class, you might know some stuff.
So it's not going to be one of the fancy flowers, because the poisons like to make themselves look pretty, right? Because that's what poisons do, right? They want to look appealing, right? or they'll have warning colors on them. So I presume the cure-all won't have that. It'll be plainer. It'll be easier to hide. So you want to look for something that is hard to look for. Okay?
Yeah, that makes...
Okay.
Yeah, so easy.
Right, I'm glad you agree. Let's keep going. Because I need to find it.
So you head down the path.
Walk down the path.
I'll give you a choice this time: survival or nature.
Ooh, great. Oh boy.
Oh, okay, I'm picking up the good rolls, I think. Wait, is that 14 or is that 19? I don't know what that is. 19, I think. Wait, what's this?
Oh, Jules, I'm excited.
5 again.
I'm rolling well. I got a dirty 20.
You know,
Wait,
I've accepted death in this game.
I'll take nature.
Accepting it
Every
right now.
time you just accepted death.
Nature is 23.
I'm good to go.
Ooh. Kit, what do you get?
I got a 21.
Ooh. So, like,
Come on, kids.
Bonnie and Kit, you, like, still can find the stones even if they're, like, hidden beneath, like, some moss or, like, the dead leaves that have fallen and are, like, starting to cover the path. Valentino, you were once again in the back, and there's, like, one point where you, like, turn, and then you, like, the edge of your foot catches on one of the stones, and you fall face first into a patch of something. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Alright. I'm ready to go. You know?
Imagine the Crimson Hand just shoots out and grabs your
Yeah.
hand.
He'd literally just be like, alright. It's a Constitution saving roll.
Yeah.
I got a 13.
Oh no.
Okay, so you fall into this and you accidentally take like a deep breath, and then you just start to pass out. You don't take any
Alright.
damage, you just start passing out.
So long, kids.
Does Kit notice?
Do you notice?
I mean, I'm
Let's-
assuming he made noise when he like.
Yeah, there was
fell on his
like a
face.
there was like a thump. So
Okay.
you can
Kit's
you can
gonna,
roll
like.
perception with advantage
Okay.
because you definitely hear this thump.
What's that audio that's like, I began to pass out, and
My head hit the wall. Boom.
Valentino right now.
So it was perception.
Yes.
I'm using Flash of Genius to give you a +4 because you're within 30 feet of me.
Okay. So that would be a 13.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
I rolled an 8. But I rolled a 5 the first time, so
Okay. You hear the thump, and it still makes you turn around, but you look like further down the path, and you don't look down. You don't like
Right.
see Valentino immediately.
he's green, so he
He's
blends in with the grass.
So I say you do probably look down after a bit, and you go
Yeah.
like, you do see him.
Okay, he's gonna be like, Mr. Valentino, sir.
Out.
I say if you, yeah, you can, yeah.
Pick me up, man. I'm tiny.
He's gonna like when he realizes he's like not moving, he's gonna like be like, oh, and he's gonna go over and like turn Valentino over so he's like face up and see that he's passed out. Can I like try and wake him up?
Yeah. What are you doing to try and wake him up?
He's not gonna immediately go to slapping him. That's a Bonnie move. Well, he's gonna check his pulse first to make sure he's like still breathing.
Alright,
And then he's gonna be... Yeah.
Medicine check.
Okay.
Just let me die. It's okay.
No, I'm not gonna. Oh,
Valentino just reaches a hand up. It's my time.
just. That would be a 6.
Oh, for
You
goodness.
don't
Really, just let me
you-
go at this point.
You don't think Valentino is dead, but you think he might be dying. Valentino, you
Okay.
are just kind of drowsy.
You're not
Okay.
necessarily like passed out anymore.
Gotcha.
You are just kind of like
He's
Kid's
laying
gonna be
there
like,
and he's like, he sits up kind of and he goes, I fucking hate school.
Kid's gonna be like, are you all right?
Oh fuck! Why? Oh.
He's gonna like help Valentino like carefully to his feet and be like crouching so they're like eye level. He's gonna be like, are you okay?
I do not get paid enough for this shit. Do you know one time I got sucked into a wall?
That sounds odd.
And attacked by a dog.
I've had that happen once or twice. He's like eyeing him like, is he crazy? Like, is he okay? Did he hit his head? Like, he doesn't see any visible blood anywhere.
Who puts me in charge? Looks at me and thinks that little man right there, that little man right there. Let him take care of the kids. Let him take care of the kids. Kids will be fine. The kid won't be fine. The kids are fucking bad shit. Yeah. Fucking years of assassin training and fall into a plant.
What? Kid's gonna just be like, what was your last name again?
Can I? How out of it am I?
you're like you can roll a straight wisdom at disadvantage.
All right.
Because you are out of it.
We will see.
Oh.
Okay.
Has Kai just unlocked some backstory with just by asking for it?
Imagine just being direct.
So I got an 8.
Yeah, you are out of it enough that there is like the tug of like, should I say this? And
So he pauses for a moment, teeters, and like looks up at him and goes, Lorenzi.
Yeah, kid's gonna be like, right, Mr. Do you prefer Lorenzi or Valentino?
Valentino.
Yeah, right. Mr. Valentino. He's like, and he kind of like makes sure he's like steady as Kit stands up and is like, well, it's I believe Bonnie's kept on walking, so we should probably catch up. And as they start walking, there's gonna be like something in the back of Kit's mind that's like tugging, like that name sounds real familiar, but he can't place like where. So he's just kind of like, he's not too concerned about it, so he just keeps walking.
Sounds good.
they come back. The groups will reunite.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. I want to find the cure on Robin
Oh.
Fannon's stupid.
Say, Hulda, you're
Can you
muted.
say that
Are you?
one more time because the sound cut off?
We're gonna go on break.
You go on a break.
Yeah,
Give me a second. And break
Yeah.
time! And we're back.
We're back. So coming right back into it. Bonnie, Kit, Valentino. Valentino is like kind of like walking, not like staggering, but it's almost got like a sachet to it. Like he's trying to like own his own drowsiness. And he's like walking in front. Valentino, have a survival check or nature check at advantage. I want
try to kill you.
I really hope you succeed. If not,
With advantage.
With advantage.
All right. Oh God, come back. Okay, I got a 15.
15 is good. So you like stay on the path. Your feet always, like not always,
It's kind
but
of
they
like,
don't like
you know,
turn off.
You know,
Yeah.
when there's like a kid that's just learned how to walk and you're like walking behind them, like kind of making sure they Kit's kind of doing that, but like in a subtle way. He's just ready to catch him if he's like starts going.
And as you like near the end of the path, there's like this area that like widens out, and there's like this is like an area that was very clearly like for families, like continuous groups of people, and there's 7 sort of mausoleum structures. Not a lot of them are still like fully standing. And as you like come out to this area, out of like the other like side path that goes into this little corner of the greenhouses, you also see like Vidya, Balin, Cornelius, and like this little like metal person. I should also say this metal person is like 5'3".
Oh, we're the same
Like, they're
height.
not-
I thought
Yeah.
it was
We're the
tiny.
same height.
Yeah, they are very tiny.
Video's walking with one hand in Cornelius's and one hand in Nico's. It's walking between them, and it's so excited to be alive.
And like Nico sees like these other people, and they're like,
No, it's okay. Well,
like immediately grabs like a patch of like grass and like fern, and is like, I'm Nico.
this is quite effective, honestly. I mean, that actually is very effective.
Valentino's
gonna be like-
kind of waddle up to him, be like,
They're like they like haven't seen people smaller than them before.
Kit's gonna like walk up and just kind of like gently place his hand like on Bonnie's back and like lean down to say in her ear, he's like, do not start tinkering with it.
She's gonna put her hand like just up to his face and is like, shh, shh. No, I need to get a closer look. She's not even gonna say hi to him. She's just gonna take his arm and then just gonna bend it.
Hey,
slightly.
no.
Oh,
Valentino's
Bonnie.
Vidya is
actually,
immediately
like-
like, she was still holding. She like grabs Bonnie's arm and is like, don't do that without
No,
asking.
I need
Don't
to-
do that without asking.
you just touch someone out of
You
nowhere.
didn't even say hi to him.
Did your mama never teach you no manners?
Nico is like reaching out for Cornelius behind her.
She like literally, Vidya has like one arm on Bonnie's wrist, and like
Bonnie,
is trying to push him back. Like, don't do that.
Nico's arm now.
Okay. Can I? Right. Sorry, everyone. Nico, they say your name is right.
Yeah.
What power is she?
Powers me?
Yeah.
Well,
Because
I
you
eat
look.
plants.
Well, I'm sorry. What? You're an automaton that eats?
I guess.
Oh no.
It's gonna be like Bonnie.
Vidya's like trying to stand in front.
Yeah, just
Cornelius is starting to pick Nico up and just like
Yeah, hold him high.
him in the air.
Bonnie, have you
Right.
remembered the competition? Or have you forgotten
Yeah,
all
every-
about it?
Competition.
Think about the homework.
I think about the lack of homework if you go and She like takes a quill and like
The whole
really
year,
sheepishly
Bonnie.
hides.
She's gonna make us have homework for the whole year.
It's only a week, I think.
Bonnie is so she's just like watching him, eyes like a hawk, and she's just like, you should come down to the mechanics room sometime. Me and
No.
No.
Nico looks at Bonnie and is like,
It's alright. It's not. Everyone's
No. Bonnie.
It's gonna
Bonnie.
grab Bonnie's arm and like kind of pull her.
the time. Eric
Bonnie.
comes down all the time.
Cornelius tries to just like quick throw Nico like out onto like the other side of the path just to like, because like I feel like Bonnie's kind of been inching closer a little bit.
Very much.
So like
very slowly.
Nico is like thrown, and I gotta
think
roll.
Vidya-
something first.
Wherever Nico goes, like dashes to be in between Nico and Bonnie, wings spread out,
Kit is gonna grab Bonnie's like her
and
arm.
she looks at Bonnie and says, "Stop it."
Nico like tries to like go like that spread eagle to like try and like get on all fours when they land, but they end up like not going like together soon enough, and they just like belly flop onto like into like a bush,
Okay.
and then the head pops up and they like turn around.
Okay.
And there's
You're right.
Okay.
Valentino,
Hey.
Valentino's gonna look at Cornelius and be like, "Honey, I know you were trying to be helpful, but you can't just throw people."
You can't. The throwing was maybe not.
Nice to throw people.
The throwing was maybe not the best course of action.
I did panic.
Take it from a little man who's been thrown many times.
No.
Unless they know how to roll, it's not a good idea.
Bonnie,
I
the
don't think
reason
Nico
we
was ready
don't...
to roll.
Nico's not supposed to be around us at all. We're not supposed to know.
Oh.
And you're being very weird.
It's like looking at Phelan.
You're
He's
not
like,
taking his feelings
"Oh,
into
okay."
account.
What?
Oh god. Well, look, I'm sorry for not taking your feelings into account. If it makes you feel better, I make. Well, I've only started with one. That's why I asked what your parent. Edwin. She's gonna call on her homunculus. I feel like it's just come like just tooting out, and she's like, "This is mine. I made him."
The bush like on all fours and just like looks at like the little guy, and they're like,
He
like
doesn't speak. I haven't worked out how to get a voice box in there or work that out. I've never worked out how you can make something ingest something. Who made you?
MILF Professor.
Milk professor? That doesn't mean what it did.
I'm Nicodemus Rappuccini.
Nicodemus Rappuccini.
MILF Professor.
I get
And we're back again. I'm so sorry, guys. My internet just said no. Just said no. Absolutely fucking not.
It gave me time to go get my pizza.
True.
And in the time in between, and like Nico is like trying to figure out like they're trying to stop Valentino from telling this kid what a MILF is. They like and by the way, I told Hulda to make a history check for me, please.
Yeah. Fuck. Where is my actual character sheet? History. Oh, history's good. History's good. Okay, that's a 16.
Okay, there is like you get like a one spark because you feel like you're still missing something, but you do remember like you grabbed blueprints from when you found Eric. Like, and those blueprints weren't really in his handwriting either.
Wait,
So,
was it Phelan that grabbed them, or was it Bonnie?
It was Bonnie. It was Bonnie, but I think Phelan did see them.
See them.
You saw that there were blueprints
Prince.
for Eric.
Absolutely. So she's gonna, I'm gonna be cheeky and be like, Bonnie, the blueprints that you found, under the theater when we found, Eric, were there the blueprints for Eric?
There were some blueprints there that definitely. She's like overlooking.
Yeah.
Nico at the
Re-
moment. She's-
Oh, then you can make a history check at disadvantage.
Oh.
Because you are distracted by this, but like you are still thinking about it.
All right. Okay. Well, first roll's 16. So let's see what the second roll is. I don't know what that says. 17. All right. Okay. So wait.
All right, so
16
you
plus,
get-
wait. Plus 7.
Oh,
shit!
There is at
That's
like the
Pretty
like
good.
you haven't really actually like gotten an opportunity to dig deep into those blueprints because like those were you could tell were like personal and like you in the moment because like you couldn't take all the blueprints from like Eric's hideout, but you did grab those along with like some other ones if I remember correctly. And you remember like the personal notes on them, but you also remember that some of those were missing. And that is partly you think why Eric is different than Nico. But you also realize something else in that the ones that were missing, your like mechanics brain is like makes this click that you didn't think of before, in that you realize that some of these blueprints were separated and some of those like there's like 2/3 in this one part and 1/3 somewhere else. But as you think about where have you seen this 1/3 somewhere else, you remember a very traumatizing event that you have been like kind of blocking out for a while.
Oh gosh.
And that you remember seeing a girl with a lot of these modifications. You remember seeing Elizabeth with those modifications.
Oh.
Don't bring up the first Frankenpunk in front of us!
Oh.
So you connect that in a moment with like the reminder of like, oh yeah, the blueprints for Eric, and you like make that connection.
You're right, Bonnie. Have you seen the blueprints that maybe belong to Nico? You're right.
I'm fine.
Cornelius has also kind of walked off during this a bit just to like calm down from anxiety and is just kind of like looking around at the other stuff that's just all around here.
Okay, so I definitely saw blueprints for Eric. It's weird. They kind of split up a little bit, but there are bits that were missing that weren't quite all there. But there were some similarities to
To what?
to Elizabeth.
Right.
You know.
Yep. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
So, yes, I have,
Ah.
and I'm, yes.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
very lost.
What's
going on?
Valentino is actually gonna turn to Kit and be like, "Do you have any idea what they're talking about?"
Nico is
He
just
is
kind of
hanging out with like looking
Yeah.
at Nico. I'm trying to teach him rock paper scissors.
and she's like,
So it's like rock, paper, scissors, and then shoot like on like after the sit you can shoot. We go on shoot,
okay,
right? And then you remember the order. You remember the rock and
Yeah.
the what be okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I won!
You won your first game of rock, paper, scissors!
And they like turn to see just like Phelan and Bonnie and like
Yeah, like
seriousness and Kit and Valentino like confused. And like Cornelius off into like just like staring into a bush, trying like not to snot. And
Nico's in social gatherings.
Nico's like, so you guys had an assignment?
Yeah, do you like games?
Do you know where the cure-all is? The cure-all. I need the cure-all.
We all need to cure all.
There's a lot of stuff around here. This is where like a lot of the best. I've like curated a lot of stuff here myself.
Right.
I can't be sure how it can react to your body because I am not hurt by a lot, and I generally eat poison. So
Right.
Fuck that you eat. I bet you really you bet you want me to take a look, no, huh?
Kit still has like a hand like on her arm, just keeping her
still
like.
no. Still
I
no.
got food. I got so happy. Continue.
Yes.
Bonnie's gonna slightly move over to Kit and just be like, look, listen. I'm just saying, you may be not all that robotic in that sense.
Yeah, they're clearly a person, Bonnie. You can't just go around poking and being invasive to people.
Kit,
There's layers.
Like an onion.
Like an onion!
I have onions over there.
Okay.
Not like an onion. No, Vidya, not an onion. Valentino, not that. Faye, not an onion. Kit, I mean, no, guys, I mean like a person. Like a human person.
Kit's gonna like kind of like look at Nico and then look back at Bonnie and kind of be like, I don't think we can ask her that. I don't know if they know.
What do you mean by human person?
Like, right, okay.
Listen,
She's
I
gonna-
have to take rust treatments. I don't know how human that is, but
Because I'm not a human.
Treatments.
You're not a human person.
No, that's why I
I'm
said
not a
person.
human person. Maybe half.
Kit's the only human here. He's kind of
It's
like,
like he's gonna
None of us are human person.
he's gonna point to Kit and be like, that's the only human person I see here.
That's why I said person.
You said human person.
I said person first. Okay? And then
Then you
y'all
said human
was.
person.
But it's a humanoid. I think we could all gather that in this world that we're all humanoid, so it's more just slang. Okay.
Nico, how long do you know have you been alive?
Maybe 20 years? I don't really know about time. I've always been like this size.
What's your first memory? What's your first memory?
My first memory is this garden. Well, maybe not this garden, but I mean, I've always been in garden. So it's always plants.
And that's, do you feel like that memory is from like 20 years ago? Ish.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's times when I do get sort of disconnected in a way, but I always come back to myself.
Kit's gonna like crouch down, like after making sure Bonnie's not gonna like lunge at Nico the minute he lets go of her arm. He's gonna kind of crouch down in front of Nico and just be like, you know, you don't have to answer any of our questions if they make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess.
Kit's just like, this poor, we are the first people this person has ever met. They don't know about
Which is
boundaries
questioning.
or anything.
How are you alive?
I think Via is like gonna step up like next to Kit and be like, no, I don't know. You don't have to answer anything. I didn't.
Okay.
When I wanted you to meet my friends, I didn't know that they would act like this.
No,
and
I-
look back at
Sorry.
everyone.
No, I
Sorry.
love people, I think.
That's what I'm saying. The kids are batshit. Nobody listens
I
to me when
understand.
I say the kids are batshit.
Valentino,
But-
you try to die like every 12 minutes. I'm pretty sure you're also
That's
that shit.
me
You want
and my own choice.
Nico like
exactly.
takes
You're also
Nico
that
actually
shit.
takes Kit's hand, which is like, like kneeling on the ground, and moves it like half a foot to the other side, and she's just like, there's a bad patch here. You shouldn't.
Oh, he's gonna like immediately just like lift his hand like off the ground and just be like, thank you.
He's
But-
bad with flowers. He picked one for me earlier. With the name.
No, wasn't it?
Oh. Makes you cough blood for a while.
Right?
Ah, I wouldn't
Okay.
know. I don't have blood, but
Maybe we
This
all
is
go back
a lot
to
of-
searching
lot
for
of-
the
yeah.
cure-all and giving
Yeah.
Nico a bit of a break and go back and finish the assignment.
Yes.
You can come help us do it if you want, Nico. Help us look.
Oh, yeah. I do know this area really well. This, of like a personal, like this is where like my mom and I like work on the garden sometimes, just us.
All right. Gonna go check on Cornelius.
Cornelius is like staring into like this little. There is like a. There is just like this nice little garden, like troweled area, and there are like vegetables and stuff over here. And Cornelius is just like, very good carrots.
Somebody walks up and is like, they're all very good. They're very bright orange.
Right? I mean, it looks like
I
you.
hardly ever. I don't see carrots very often. I just have my eyes on right now, but they don't always look so.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. I mean, they look delicious. They do look delicious.
Are you hungry, Cornelius?
I'm a little hungry. And
I have
Nico,
cookies.
Nico like
And she just starts pulling out like really random, different kinds of cookies that she has stolen from Harvey at various points in time.
those
I
are
got-
these lemon bars.
Yeah, I've also got some snickerdoodles. I got a macaron, but I got a little bit smushed in the bag
I
with all
will
the other
take-
ones.
Anything. My schedule doesn't really allow for like lunch periods, and like I always feel a
Aw,
little
hate
queasy after this. It's
Your schedule doesn't allow for lunch periods.
well, that's how I I thought I could get through it, but it's
No.
stupid of me.
College classes
Uh,
work.
Eat, you a big man.
I am.
You know how college
Yeah.
classes work.
He's like
Sometimes you
eating
have
a
classes
lemon
until
bar.
5 p.m. and it just is that way.
Huh?
It's not high school. I don't care about lunch. You go to class.
So
The kids.
Cornelius is like having a good time, and he's just like eating a lemon bar, and he's like feeling good. He's now like actually looking around, trying to look for anything really. So he's starting to like investigate.
I'll help him investigate. We'll look over in our little corner together.
Everyone else can also do an investigate roll just to
Yeah.
try and find a girl
Investigation.
or anything really, because you can find some
Anything?
stuff.
See,
Can
Anything.
I do a
Okay.
perception?
Yes, you can do a perception.
Faye,
30-20.
if I use my true seeing on Nico, can I see more about them?
Sure.
Okay. You gotta pull that away from your microphone, please. I'm wearing headphones. You gotta pull that back.
I realized that I was like, I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna just adjust. So Bonnie just adjusts her hat on her head, and her hat is called a riddled hat. It is a magic item, and it allows her to have true seeing. It can be cast once every 24 hours, depending on if I roll above a DC of 15. So I will try.
Okay. Give it that roll.
Okay, that's what is that? No, that's a 12.
You like try and adjust the hat, and it actually like the ribbon falls in front of your eyes, and you adjust it again, and like you can't quite get it the way that you like. No, you can like. It's like trying to move your cell phone in the air to get signal, but like you're just not getting it. And Nico's just like going through like the edges of like the mausoleums and stuff. Like some of them are like fully caved in. And Vidya, you got like a 20.
Yeah, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you look at like this like semicircle, not even semicircle. It is just kind of like a circle of mausoleums that like have like this big area in the middle with like all the different paths kind of leading to the steps. Some of them are like fully like fallen in and like decrepit. Like there's nothing really here. After like the panes of like glass were like put over this entire like big section of land, they like the environment, the atmosphere, yes. No, I said environment, whatever. The whole stuff, it couldn't really get no.
Oh.
I'm trying to I can't
Words are hard.
I'm so man, I can't think of this word.
That's okay.
Yeah. But like still trying to think of it, but whatever. Like the stuff from the outside couldn't really get to it anymore, but everything that was inside the mausoleum is already like decayed. Like there might be some bones in there, but those are just bones. But on the outside of the mausoleums, you can kind of tell quite a bit. There is like a lot of stuff that has worn off over time, you can just tell, but over about 2 or 3 of them, you can see like different animals, sort of as like crests. And even more so, you can tell like kind of the underlying color in like almost like in the back of your mind, it just kind of like automatically fills as that. And some of them, there's like a bear that you like think blue, like royal blue. There's like that crest is like on the corner of one of the little mausoleums. And you look at like another one that has like the roof caved in, and there's on like the very top there's a deer, like the shape of like a deer with antlers with a green background.
Oh shit! Valentino is booking.
What was your roll though?
I don't know. I didn't roll.
Investigation or perception?
You're just looking at me. Tell me what you saw. Lydia just starts like vaguely describing it, and Valentino hears it, and it's just like,
okay, 16. Oh, what was it? What did I use? What did I do?
Investigation or perception.
Okay.
If perception.
Okay, so I got a 18.
Okay, you do look around, and you don't really know that much about plants, so you're not that interested in that. You're a teacher, so you're just looking around, and you are looking at these mausoleums because these are old family mausoleums. And you're looking through, and you see there's one that has one near the center of the mantle of the door. And that's your brain is also filling these in because you have researched some other families sometimes. So you see a fox, and you get like the deep burnt orange background that like naturally goes with that. And then you look to see like another one because you're like, oh, crests, right? And you see the deer, and it's the same shape of the patch that you saw before. This is like an older version, but you can still understand the green background that goes behind it.
Go into it. I don't say anything, just directly to it. Like his entire like personality just kind of like shifts. So he's like kind of just like lounging, chilling. immediately like stands up straight and just like moves to that door and just starts like searching it.
Give me an actual investigation roll then.
Okay.
And Vidya, you see you like register with that dirty 20, you register that there's actually 7 mausoleums here. No wait, 8 mausoleums here. I said 7 before. There's actually 8. You realize that like a little plot that was like completely decimated, that is turned into like a little bit of a garden here, that there is still a surviving crest stone that has 2 ravens like twinned around each other. And if I'm guessing you probably moved closer to look at it, yeah?
I think she probably is scooting up to it and it's just like, that looks like you. So go out to it.
There is a small, it's stood the stand of time. There is a small name underneath. Usher. And that's what you see. Yes?
Side note, is Valentino within 30 feet of Bonnie still?
Probably, yes. Yeah.
Okay, Jules, I saw your face, so you get +4 to that.
Oh, thank you. I got an 11 then.
With an 11, you like search the whole side of the mausoleum. Like this is actually one of the more intact ones, so you can't actually get in or anything. So you can't really get in, but you search the entire side of the little mausoleum and you can't see a name the way that you kind of might have noticed that like Vidya did.
So as he's searching, he's gonna like clearly start getting more and more agitated, like as he doesn't find anything, and he like circles around the entire like mausoleum as best he can, comes back to the front, doesn't find anything, and he just like full on just like punches the wall and is like cursing quietly like in Italian.
Such an anime moment.
Exactly.
None the doubt.
But yes, that is what you see. Bonnie or Kit, what were your investigation rolls?
I didn't roll. Whoops.
No.
What is that?
Mine was a 16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't know what this little mark is. Wait, is that the 20? Is that what it's done for 20?
It's not a number. I think it's a 20.
Hey!
Hey!
Oh?
Not
So you
20?
got all right.
And that's 20.
It's either that or a 0. I don't know. Is there a 0 on there?
I think there's a 0 on there.
Look on the opposite end, like the very opposite end of the dice. Is there another symbol on the other side?
Oh, 1.
Yeah,
You got 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me looking at the symbol like, what does it mean?
I mean, I didn't read more, so.
So you got a 20?
Yes.
Okay,
Wait,
on
plus,
investigation.
Am I doing investigation? Cool. 21.
21.
22. 20.
Ooh.
No, 24.
What? Okay.
So,
So many different numbers.
24.
I went down all the I things. I was like, insight, intimidation, investigation.
Bonnie is looking around this entire area. Kit, what did you get as well?
16.
16? Alright, so you're not nearly as adept. Like, you didn't scan a textbook before you came here.
They all
But
look
you
like
are-
plants.
Yeah, they do generally look like plants, and you can kind of tell, just from now, like, being around in the garden for a while, you can kind of tell which ones are poisonous and which ones aren't. And you don't really, you don't know enough to find, like, a cure-all. But Bonnie, you look around, and you also can't find a cure-all. And, like, the more you think about it, the more you realize, like, there is no cure-all. But what helps the most? And
I need you to give me a history check or a medicine check.
Ooh.
I'll do history.
All right.
That +7. I rolled 17. So that's
17 plus 7?
yeah. Someone do the math.
24.
24.
24.
So you like think back, and you actually think back to like you didn't read this in class. You actually wrote this like a year ago. There is something. There is a plant that like delivers a significant like immune boost, and like a shot of adrenaline along with like the dispersing of it, and it looks very poisonous. It's very intimidating. But you said earlier, and you were right, poisons are beautiful. But one of the most beneficial plants and very difficult to cultivate, very difficult to even find in the wild, is something called the Crimson Hand.
Which we just saw.
No, it's so creepy.
So that was literally Chekhov's gun.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was wondering if anyone was gonna say at the beginning, like, what if we just like, but Nico is also like off, like, kind of like looking at like Valentino and kind of seeing that he's tense, and she's like, yeah, and they just like he starts talking about like all the different plants that they like cultivate here, and like Nico is like, yeah, we like do. I mean, if there's not a lot that we can like grow around like these buildings, but we try and grow in between, and then like it's not. I understand like you're.
He's gonna turn around and look at him and be like, "What do you know about these buildings?"
They're family buildings. I mean, I don't really know too much about that's a university, right? I don't really know.
We're all students.
Okay. Oh, nice. But there's, I mean, I don't really know much about this old place. I mostly just know about, I mean, this graveyard, garden, my
Does
home.
your mom know about this place?
I mean, she might, but I don't really know too much about. She doesn't really talk about this place much. But I mean, I know, I at least know from what I can tell, this used to be an academic place too. I'm guessing that this place is for the people who used to contribute to what this place was. I think this was like a monastery before. I think this is like a burial place for them because they were like these huge benefactors, and this is like a mark that they were great. Like you can't. But I know these were like the big like contributors to this place.
Right. So the founders, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Is there anything I can discern? So the raven thing that I am perceiving, it's a whole mausoleum. Like it's a little tiny building. It's like one of those little buildings. That's what it is.
It's not a little building.
It's one of those smaller buildings, but like with other buildings around it.
So these like the 7 mausoleums that I was like describing before, those are like mostly whole. Some of them have their whole roofs caved in. Some of them have like a corner empty. 1 or 2 of them is still completely whole. This one that you're at for this crest, this is just like there are only still like the cornerstones and like the foundation left. This whole thing has been like broken down. You don't know what happened that made like everything that must have been in here gone, but you can also see, I think, with this is like the last thing you see with that 20 is there is a crack through like the foundation where there are like plants growing and like still sprouting from in the foundation of what this mausoleum used to be.
Like if there's a crack of whatever's underneath and plants are going in or coming out of it, kind of.
Yeah, it's like a sidewalk crack where like plants come out from there.
this like foundation is completely cracked enough that like plants are coming out from there.
Is there any other names that I think she will lean down, like her hand touches the crack? There's nothing else no other name or anything written on here besides the crest. And
you see on like there's still like the step left that you can like kind of move away some of the plants that have like grown in front of it, and you can see one phrase in Latin: memento mori.
Fair. I know that we've kind of done a lot of the roles, but could I please try to make a history check to see if I recognize any of the family crests at all?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Either history or investigation, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll do history. More history. That's a nat 20, baby!
Ooh.
It's a 24!
You
Give
turn
me those family names!
If you can make out 5 of the 7, as like 2 of them are like been completely rubbed away, but as you like spot them as you like look around, because you've been around like family mausoleums before. You know where like your family mausoleum and like graveyard is.
Yeah.
Rich family. Turn, you actually do.
You cut out for me. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
Continue. Go on.
Okay. You do see a hawk, which you are familiar with, the Van Helsing insignia. There's a hawk that you know lies on like a field of purple. I misspoke earlier. I think I said something else and I can't remember what it was, but it's
That's
a hawk
okay.
on purple. And you know that like there's the Van Helsing going along like the wing that's like always like, it's subtle. It's not out there. The hawk is what says it all.
Yeah. Right.
You turn and you see the bear against blue. Ooh.
No, I'm just in my head, like Van Helsing. Okay.
Yes. There's the bear against blue, and you actually registered that this is Bonnie's mother's like family crest, the Murrays.
Oh shit.
There's
so y'all rich. So y'all important. So y'all got money.
Oh, think of her. Oh no. This is why we play D&D, to just live the life we never could.
And then turning, you see the deer on green, and you register this. This was Victor's family crest. This was the Frankensteins.
What is going on? As she sees Victor's, just there's like a tiny. And she just looks away.
So, along with that,
okay, wait, sorry. While he's doing the anime, I have failed you. She's like, oh, that's a Frankenstein's breast. If you did you know
what?
The Frankenstein's
Frankenstein. He like pulls out his notebook and he like viciously scribbles the like Frankenstein like over 2 pages.
You can do like a history check while I finish up this for Hilda. So you like register like 2 others, and you register the one that's like in Vidya's hand, as like Vidya's like looking closely at this one. And you notice like 2 other ones. There's a fox against orange, which you remember is like Doyle. There's dove against white.
Oh,
and that
shit, sorry, Doyle. Continue.
Yeah. And there's dove against white, which is... I read the wrong one again. There's a rabbit against white, which is Liddell.
Liddell. That makes sense. So Doyle, can I make an educated guess that has something to do with Robin's family? Because Arthur Conan Doyle is the one who wrote Sherlock Holmes. Sorry, that's the only like thing I'm thinking about.
I mean,
Maybe that's a far fetch.
you can connect that out of character, but
Yeah,
you
I
don't
don't
know.
think
I
Phelan
don't
would
know.
make
I
that.
don't know. Sorry, that is me thinking. That is me being
Phelan hasn't read this literature to
She
know
hasn't.
the
Sorry,
story.
it's me with the red with the red. Like I connected it.
But
yes.
yeah, you like recognize that's like one of the professor's names.
Okay. Huh, professors.
That's-
But yeah,
yeah.
she says out loud as she's going, alright, so Van Helsing. Fuck, I can't remember what the Van Helsing's, that's Murray's, that's your mother's, isn't it? And then it's Frankenstein, it's Doyle, Liddell, and Usher.
There's like two more you don't know. You don't know these two crests. There's a cat against red and lion against yellow.
And I don't know those two.
Do Kit and Bonnie recognize the lion against yellow?
Ha ha ha. I don't know. Do
You
we?
want to make a history check?
Kit doesn't know a whole lot about his
19 plus 7.
family.
I'm
Oh, I rolled a nat 20, baby.
What is
Oh
going
my
on,
God.
guys?
20,
The rolls are
26.
so high.
26.
Sorry, Lydia. We're just like, give us all the info.
I know.
Wait, what are we rolling?
History. baby.
History.
So I got a 25.
Oh, shit.
You know what? Use my last flash of genius. Make it a 29.
Oh, that's sexy.
All right.
That is quite sexy, yeah.
So you make I accidentally moved off my document. So you like make this like connection with like the cat on red. You don't like remember what the last name is. You don't see it on the mausoleum. You see the other names and you like make the same connection of like Murray and like Frankenstein. I've like heard of that family. And Van Helsing, of course. You don't really recognize Doyle. The lion against yellow. I mean, you know that your father's family came from England. You don't really know much about it past that because, like, your family doesn't like to go into family history. There's not a lot of good family history. But but it might be worth looking into. And with that nat 20, you look at that crest as you move closer to the lion with yellow, and you do notice the same sort of detailing around the edge of the circle that you have on your own watch.
He's gonna look at it for a long moment, and then he's gonna kind of be like just contemplative about it, but not say anything.
It's spicy.
It's spicy.
Spicy.
Oh, my.
What about the cat? What about the cat?
What about the cat?
What about
the cat? You do make the connection that, like, you know that you remember Carmilla, and you know that she could turn into a cat. You don't remember how, or maybe if that's a family trait, maybe this has to do with her family.
Oh.
Interesting. You guys share
And
this
that's-
information with us?
Bonnie probably won't about Carmilla.
No problem.
Yeah, and Kit's not gonna say anything until he has more information about, because he's very private about family history, because again, there's not a lot known, and what people have told him isn't great. And he's been trying basically his whole life to figure out family history, but nobody wants to tell him anything. See Bonnie's bloody birthday when he was trying to talk to Van Helsing, and Van Helsing was just like, no, and Kit's like, just tell me, old man!
How dare you call my uncle old?
Stop being cryptic.
Okay.
He is old.
He is old.
So I'm gonna say, just for the sake of time, you guys like take in this information. Bonnie, you like realize that like the Crimson Hand stuff of like you're never gonna find this in this garden. This is something she cultivates herself. So you probably like at least like tell that to the group, and it's like, we don't have to be here.
Yeah. She's just gonna be like, it was all fucking wild goose chase. The cure-all was what we saw at the start of the fucking lesson.
Is it the hand?
Yeah, it's the creepy fucking hand.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh, we got
Also,
rickrolled.
Oh, let's...
Creepy hand. This is creepy. It's creepy.
Cornelius
Yes.
raises his hand.
Oh,
Can
yes,
we
Cornelius.
leave?
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to.
But I got an 18.
Nick,
Oh,
on the history check?
I've been waiting.
Oh, sorry. I could see you like towards the end here, but okay, you got a 19 on a history check.
Yeah.
And you were trying to gather more on like Frankenstein. You know families who are into deep shit. Like you recognize families who get into like black markets, who like whatever, and you know that this wasn't a family that got like deep into the black market until like recent years. Like it wasn't until like some newer kid who like went down in a blaze of lightning. Like he was like the recent bright spark in the family, but like that family towards the end there had gotten more and more into like black market stuff. So you can't remember hearing anything about them recently, but you know that they did like sell the main business, which had their crest on it, and mainly they dealt in like they were intellectual people. They were not like hearty by any means, but they were things, and that was valuable to others. Yes. So that is what you get, and you're like mulling that over. You're like processing that as you guys all start to like head back to the classroom, and Nico is like kind of like Nico is still like following you guys.
Yeah, that's good.
And he's like, and he's like getting a bit nervous, but he's like feeling a little bit better. So as you like near the door of the classroom, you do feel like the anxiety of Nico as like he's like right at the back and just like pressing her hands together and like they're making like creaky metal noises.
Metal biscuits.
And as you get closer to the door, you do actually hear murmuring inside. And who's at the front?
I think Bonnie would be Bonnie and Cornelius, because they didn't
Bonnie
Cornelius
and
and Bonnie want
Cornelius?
to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diddy's gonna be
Probably.
the closest to Nico.
So, okay, so
It's close behind Bonnie.
do you guys just like head on in when you hear voices, or do you try and stealth?
Bonnie might grab Cornelius and just be like, hold on a second.
All right, then give me stealth. Just Bonnie, because you're at the front.
Shit. Come on, Bonnie.
Oh no, wait, I rolled a 14. What's my stealth? Plus 2. 16.
16. You don't make much noise as you approach the door, just because you're like used to trying to like eavesdrop on like conversations that aren't for you. And as you get to the door, you hear two like feminine voices. One of them you like recognize as like Professor Rappuccini's, and the other one you don't really recognize. But as you get like just a bit closer, you like, you know, stereotypically step on like a branch, on a twig. And like the conversation stops, and Cornelius like looks at you and is just like,
She's gonna poke her head round the corner and just be like, hey.
Rappuccini is at like her desk with like her hands down, like palms down on the desk, like leaning over at this other like very put together, very calm, poised woman with like dark hair and like brighter eyes. And like the woman, like Rappuccini looks like
intense, but the woman looks like unbothered by like this person, and she's got like a fan, like the woman's got like a fan, just kind of like lightly blowing.
When he's in dark hair, I'm like, I think I know exactly who this woman is.
And as you guys like peek in, Rappuccini like leans away and like smooths down like her hair, which has gotten like more flyaways. Yes, the lesson is over for today.
Oh, but we got the answer.
Yeah, as the Crimson Hand, can I be excused from homework for a year?
Can we all?
A month. I knew it. That's enough. 1 month. 1 month.
1.5.
And as like you all kind of like walk in, there's like like it looks like most other groups have like they didn't even try to find the catch-all. They just like identified poisons and left. But like coming in, Vidya, I think I want you to make, actually you and Valentino can make history checks to see if you remember this woman.
Oh shit, yeah.
I'm sweaty right now.
Paris.
Why do I have a single plus on history? This is not my game, man.
Well, I have a +6 on history, so that's 23.
I got a 14.
Oh,
He has a big
Valentino,
brain.
you remember a lot of beautiful women, but no one stands up against your wife. Vidya, as you turn and you look at this woman, you have this sudden flash of when you were in Paris with Robin and Harvey, and you remember the proposal vividly, and you remember like Gratia like circling above, looking down at everyone watching, and along with everyone there, you remember like Robin walking away for a bit, like, and afterwards you were like too excited to like talk to Harvey because it went so well. And you remember Robin being excited before she walked off, but then after she came back, that's when the problems started. And you remember this woman in Paris having this same sort of smile, and like she like smiles at the group as you all walk in, and last to walk in is Nico, who like looks at their mother and like this stranger and pauses for a second and goes, "I want to go to school."
Oh.
And like Rappuccini was
I
not
also want Nico to go to school.
I also think Nico should go to school.
I'd like Nico to come to mechanics class.
No,
And-
I think Nico should go to school.
And the woman like turns to Rappuccini and goes, "Yes, I think Nico should go to school."
Oh no, did we just side with the bad guy?
Wait, actually, I lied.
No.
All of us are just like,
No.
I think we're all gonna leave this school. We want to go to the poor kid school next door.
And like the woman takes like stops fanning and like takes a step back away from Rappuccini and like takes a little purse off from her side and like puts down like a little note in like the pocket of Rappuccini's like shirt. And it's like, "I really think you should consider the offer."
Kit's gonna step forward and he's gonna offer his hand to the woman and be like, "I don't believe I've made your acquaintance. I'm Kit Morris."
I've heard quite a lot about you.
Oh no.
Americans.
Please.
She turns to look at someone saying Phelan's name. Phelan Van Helsing?
Oh no.
Aye.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard of your marksmanship, and I must say I am excited to see where you'll go.
Valentino's gonna step up and be like, I
Thanks.
think it's just kind of interesting that you seem to hear about everyone, and yet we still don't know your name. Frills.
I think you should keep finding me interesting,
Oh.
Valentino Lorenzi.
And then she turns
I'm
and
back.
walks, and then she turns and walks out of the classroom very calmly.
Bonnie's
And
just gonna lean back to,
Rappuccini,
video.
Rappuccini sits heavily in the seat behind her desk and
Video's just standing back there,
Whose
like,
horse is that?
leaning over to Bonnie, just like,
Bonnie's like, I don't like it here. I don't like her.
I don't like it.
I don't
I
like
don't like it at all. I don't know if we did. I don't know what
It's
just
gonna
happened.
go over to Rappuccini.
And then I think she'll. Oh,
Oh, no, go,
she's
video.
gonna
So-
like whisper when
so-
Bonnie whispers that. Be like, I think I recognize her
How do you recognize her? What?
from France. I
From
think that's
France?
Robin's. I think that's Robin's mom.
That's Robin's mom. That makes sense. She's got an
When
ass
Robin
for
went-
days.
Yeah. When Robin went to go talk to her, I think, and then after that, everything fell apart with her and Harvey.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And now that we've talked to her for exactly 2.5 seconds, I can think I see why.
Yeah, no, I felt very uncomfortable.
I felt so uncomfortable in the situation. It was
You
very,
feel-
very, very much
Do I
disgusting.
hear this? Do I hear this?
We're whispering to each
I
other.
don't know.
While this is going on, Kit's gonna go over to Rappuccini and he's gonna like stand near her chair and just ask are you alright?
She doesn't really like answer you, but she like puts her hands down and she looks over to Nico and she just goes, "You can go to school."
Look
Can
at
I be his
that!
buddy? Can I
You
show
go
them
to
around
school.
school?
Gets up and like takes the note off the desk. No, wait, it wasn't on the desk. It's in her
In the
shirt
pocket.
pocket.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry. She just like stands up and takes like some sheets of paper off out of her desk in a hurry and walks off out back into the garden. But she pauses before going out the door and she steps back and just like kisses Nico's forehead. Stay safe.
Aw.
And she walks into the garden.
Right, who the fuck was that woman though? The fucking audacity.
That was Robin's mom.
Robin's that makes so much sense.
Right? Doesn't it just click?
Yeah, it
I
clicks
remember
now.
her from the proposal. She was
Kit
there.
doesn't really know who Robin is that much, but he's gonna be looking at the door that the woman walked out of, and he's just gonna kind of like narrow his eyes a little bit, and he doesn't look angry or unsettled often, but he has like there is like a hardness to his expression, and he's gonna be like, I've seen a lot of snakes in my day, but never one as cold as that one. And he's gonna be like, I'd stay far away from her if I were you.
You like my
Absolutely.
marksmanship? Maybe she
I
should
don't
be
think
the
she's
aim.
gonna stay very far away from us.
Mm.
Nico, you get to go to school, and I can show you all the classes. I am the best tutor. Harvey would say so. I'm really amazing, and you can learn all kinds of things. I'll show you how to read, and I'll show you where the coffee shop is, and you could try coffee. I don't know if you can actually eat it, but you can smell maybe exist in the aesthetic. Do you know about aesthetics? Let me teach you about all of the cores. Okay, there's cottage core, there's dark.
Oh yeah, but Buddy was basically just gonna head over to Kit, and she was just gonna say, okay, so this isn't really a normal lesson, but if you do wanna come and visit me at school, you can come by the workroom instead. I'm usually there.
He's gonna kind of be like, oh, yeah, you might have to draw me a map. This campus is quite confusing.
I don't really have a map.
None of us have a map.
I am in the process of making a map eventually.
I just like the thought. I just like the thought that none of the students were given a map.
Orientation
being
does not tell you
rebuilt.
where things are.
No.
Yeah.
Orientation
It's
does not
being
involve
rebuilt in the
telling you where
process
things are.
very hard.
Yeah.
You have to ask
gonna-
upperclassmen and hope that they know where you need to go.
Yeah.
And then you go. But like nobody just tells you
No.
where anything is. You don't get a directory.
And that's
You
why
look
we
at
have
room 103?
Valentino. Valentino's the only one that knows.
Yeah, he's the only one who knows. Kid's
all
gonna
went
come
to him.
back when Bonnie says she doesn't have a map, and he's gonna be like, "Well, I'm sure I can find my way." Or
You could just ask because my professor, Mr. Brown, like he is pretty wicked. But
he's gonna raise his eyebrows and be like, Professor. He's like, I met him earlier, and then he's gonna like make the connection and be like, he's the one who helped you design the ring, and he's gonna like glance down at her hand.
The ring.
yeah, no. So
He's like-
Bonnie has a ring on her finger.
Yeah.
It is.
Sure. Continue.
a ring.
It's a blue star. I'm trying. It's a blue star sapphire. That has it sits in a crescent shape of a moon, but the moon can basically click through the different phases of the moon, which then cover or uncover the ring, depending, which work on a cog mechanism down the side.
Fancy.
Fancy.
Cornelius leans over to Valentino and is like, seems very tense.
Valentino's gonna turn to him and be like, I honestly have no idea what's going on.
All right.
It's like, I don't think I should be hanging out with these. There's something about this group. You know, I was in art
Cornelius is
class
like,
last
are these the
time,
bad
and-
kids?
Are we the problem? Are we the problem?
Are we
You know what
the
this
drama?
Are we the drama?
Drama.
Stop.
What
I
it
literally
is.
like, are they the drama? I think they're the drama.
Cornelius is like dead ass, like in too deep now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too involved. He's part of the group now.
He's part of the group now.
He's the NPC. He's part of the group. He's the NPC.
It is also going to like just kind of casually take Bonnie's hand and give it a little squeeze, and he's gonna lean down just so she can hear and say, "Good job figuring out the lesson." And he's gonna give her like a little kiss on her temple.
You hear it in the corner.
She immediately, because she knows they're in public, she immediately hands on face, like just said us in the face. She's like, nope. It's like,
Oh,
Kaylin, are you
Cornelius-
okay? Why did you
Cornelius
hurl?
Oh,
I
it's
just,
like that.
it's something about.
Did they do something
affection.
gross?
Yeah, that she tried to kiss her, like right here.
Oh, that's
Right-
so sweet.
Oh,
He kissed her temple, like
And
That's
unless
right.
there's
Proper
anything,
stalker.
unless
You're a
there's
professional,
anything anyone
Halen.
else wants to do, it just kind of fades out from that
I'm just
scene.
yelling at Phelan. It's okay to be affectionate. Let me hug you. Let me hug you. Let me hug you.
So that was Poison's Heir. Thank you for coming. Are there any other announcements? I know there's there's Waywards tomorrow.
Wayward's
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Wayward's
Tune
tomorrow.
in.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
Paragon
dangerous.
on Wednesday. It'll be kind of a special Paragon. It's kind of like coming up on episode 10, so something big's gonna happen. So come hang out if you
Tune
want.
in. So many things that are happening, and then
Like a show climax.
and
Like a chapter, end of a chapter.
it's gonna be so exciting. And then we got Saturday. It's the Mortal Reverie. Hopefully, episode 3. Since the last time we tried, everything was against us.
How long have we been on episode 3?
We don't want to talk about it. So hopefully, properly, episode 3 next Saturday after that. And yeah, follow us on Instagram because Art made a beautiful schedule there with August, with everything that's happening, with one-shots and Waywards and more Paragon and all that beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Join our Discord.
Join our Discord!
Join the Discord.
Yeah,
Join
that's
the
how you can
Discord.
see the question about release sheet that Babs made, our local general crafted, so
along
that you can
with-
submit questions for me and Fergus, who are going to be on Question Bound at the end of the month. So, I mean, you should definitely pick it out because it's very amazing.
It's going to be really amazing because you're the
Oldo's
one being
gonna host
questioned. Oh, no.
Exactly. I'm going to be interrogated.
Interrogated. I'm so excited. So, thank you so much for coming. Faye, any last words?
Not that I can think of, but thank you for coming. This was so much fun, and I'm so happy.
Thank you for a great game.
Last words?
Welcome to Glassrook University, new home to genius and adversity. In our hallways are characters with backstories tragic who fight against fate, with metal or magic. These familiar stories, with echoes still sounding, leave blood on the floor and hearts yet pounding. A game of steam, madness, or hope not yet sunk. I am pleased to present Frankenpunk